break that trend. They watched film on Saturday morning, then they flushed it before even getting back to the States. They made sure the team got the maximum amount of rest and recovery this week, and Coach Campbell even taught the teams in the NFL that had success overseas to find out any secrets he could get to give his team an edge and not fall into that letdown post the Dublin trip.
South Dakota won the toss and deferred. Iowa State receives, and it'll be a touchback, and they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line, and going to get a really strong look at the left-hander who can really chunk it and who's got strong lineage with this program here at Iowa State, as well as the quarterback at South Dakota. And that is Aiden Bowden. And when you think about the quarterback that is Rocco Becht as Iowa State opens play.
Yeah, and I'm just telling you, they got to get these wide receivers going. If it was me, I would try to take a shot down the field and set the tone right away that we believe in our wide receivers, because last week was a wash in that rainy condition.
And Becht leads Carson Hansen and company out, and the opening play is right down the middle. Going for the home run, it's Ascullen. Brett Ascullen is down inside the 10. DeJean Lewis, number 2, with a saving tackle. 61 yards on the opening play.
Brett Askelson right in the middle of the bunch set. He goes down the field, a deep post. You get big play action to start the game. And like I said, take a shot and set the tone.
Askelson with a huge catch. And as good as he is, think about it, all right? He's one of those guys who had career highs in his first game. Why? Because he didn't play much a year ago. Here's that previous pass.
A really nice job by Rocco Becht. He sees it. They've designed it. It's open. You got to make the play, and that's what you get from a veteran quarterback like Rocco Becht. They know they can run the football. They know exactly what they have in the backfield, but it's the receiving core that needs to get their feet wet before they move forward in this season.
To tell you something about the confidence Campbell and his offensive coordinator, Peter Mouser, have in back as Hansen burrows ahead, maybe a yard inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. We'll give him 3 on the play. 3rd down and goal coming up.
This is 3rd down for the South Dakota defense, right? They've been hit with a whirlwind, right?
Yeah.
So can they stand up strong here? What they have to remember is Rocco Becht is not the same old Rocco Becht they've always known. He has the ability to get on the edge and make plays in the passing game, extend plays, and make plays with his arm as well.
Hansen, the lone setback, trips to the bottom of your screen, looking to the corner, and it's the tight end, Bramer. Touchdown.
A really nice job. He's just going to go on a corner route from his inline tight end position, and that play is wide open in the back corner. He's got a big, tall frame, but that ball didn't have to be thrown high because he's open. A nice job of Rocco Becht just putting it on his chest, and it's a touchdown for Iowa State.
Conradi with the extra point. Kyle, the redshirt sophomore, boots it through. Well, Rocco has 3 touchdowns in the air already this season. And can you say drop the bomb on me? That's what happened to open this game.
It absolutely did.
Wow. Eskelson got it started. And then,
Baby,
yeah,
he dropped the bomb on me.
why not?
Did you know Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating?
Is it weird seeing yourself on TV?
It's my job, isn't it? To let people know that Geico's more than just savings.
Certainly have our cat's attention. Whoa.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, it appears so.
Well, they just love great customer service.
Customer service, right.
They only get this excited for wet food. You know?
No.
Guys, he's right here.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
At Ace, we know not all paint is created equal. So to do it right, start with exceptional paint that's designed to last. Only Ace has this collection of premium brands like Benjamin Moore, Magnolia Home by Joanna Gaines, and Clark & Kensington. And your local Ace has premium service and quality paint that stand up to the test of time. With gallons of paint like Royal, starting at only $29.99. And right now, get 20% off gallons of select Benjamin Moore interior paint.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Break Brothers.
Hey, bud. It's your time.
Your son is on a crispy, creamy Kit Kat break.
Who's gonna do the chores?
Thanks, Break Brothers.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
Dove Men Plus Care Whole Body Deo protects you everywhere. Here, when you're there. There, when you're here. Even down there. Dove Men Whole Body Deo. Care that goes everywhere. Everywhere.
It's all happening too fast.
What, you nervous about the wedding?
No, it's the house, dude. We got approved.
Bro, don't stress. This house, it's the one.
Speaking of the one, caterer. We need a caterer.
At Burger King, we don't listen to celebrities. We listen to you. Your next creation is here. The Crispy Onion Whopper. It's got the crisp, the crunch, the bacon, and it's imagined by you. Try the latest in the Whopper by You series today.
If Jerry knew football the way Tom Brady knows football, he would in no way be able to handle it. Tom Brady knowledge is 10 pounds of football in a 5-pound bag of Jerry.
Come on, Ryan. You gotta look off the safety before you... When the safety rotates down, just rip the seam.
Nobody knows football.
Come on, we can do better.
Like Tom Brady.
It's not that hard.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Geico. Switch and save and get more with Geico. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you, this is an Iowa State team that knows how to get the party started. Going deep, young man, on the opening play, and boy, did they ever.
Yes, they did.
To grab the lead against a quality FCS team.
They wanted to set the tone and let everybody know we believe in our wide receivers.
And the fair catch is made. Tim Brando along with Evan Gardner. You've already heard from Josh Sims. Huge victory to start the season for Ohio State. Now will the Cyclones, one of the favorites in the Big 12, fare well? I think we're going to find out from Aiden Goldman, the quarterback from Fresno, that for this fine team from South Dakota, that they are going to be in great shape with this kid at quarterback.
Yeah, Aiden Bauman is a guy that they really, really trust. They trust him in the run game. They trust him in the pass game. But you got to find out who else on your roster can contribute. So they're going to lean on him to show everybody what it's like to play winning Coyote football.
I wonder how Fresno's doing today. We've called a few ball games the last 8 days. Charles Pierre is the big-time running back in this offense for South Dakota. Bauman, we touched on this briefly in our open, but most of our audience did not join us until after that. This is a kid whose career actually began here at Iowa State, struggling to try to get an opportunity that he never got. And now, as the leader of a team that made it to the semifinals, he rededicated himself. He had options. He could have left. In fact, they thought he would leave. And they're really happy that he chose not to. Head coach Travis Johansson, in his first year as head coach, the former defensive coordinator. And we've got a false start that should back them up after that healthy gain on first down.
False start. Offense, number 59. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Our referee today is Henry Johns. Thomas Considine is our replay official. Well, that backs them up after a very good gain on first down. And it's second down and long 9 now after picking up 6 on the opening play.
And that's the mistake a lot of teams make coming in to play Iowa State. You cannot put yourself behind the chains. They're going to do enough of that.
That's Bowes in motion, and the lefty looks for an out pattern in the direction of Tyson Bowes, and it's incomplete. Aiden Bowman is a redshirt senior out of Buffalo, Minnesota. He got married and said that after he was done with the semifinals, losing in that game, that, you know what, this is not how it's supposed to end. And Bauman now has rededicated himself when his fiancee became his wife. And when he started looking at the big picture of his career, his dad, Todd, was a quarterback at St. Cloud State and in the NFL with the Vikings, Saints, Rams, and Jaguars. So he's got pedigree. Out of the shotgun. Bauman. Crossing pattern, a beauty to Pierre out of the backfield. And this is why this team could be hard to stop today. This young man is as good as any Division I Power 4 back could be out of the backfield.
Yeah, and if you're in a third and long situation, you want to have a veteran quarterback. Take a look at the running back there, Pierre. He's there. He sees no protection responsibility because he's an older guy. He gets out quickly, and now you can get that ball out to the check down even though there's pressure in your face, and he picks up a really nice gain.
A team that historically has used the ground game. Now a little eye candy with a reverse look, but it's Pierre right up the middle. Gets it to the 43-yard line. Jamison Patton, number 2, the free safety coming up.
Yeah, we talked about at the top of the show that South Dakota, they don't have a lot of returners back. They don't have a lot of guys that they know they can trust, but there's one guy for sure they know they can trust, and it's Charles Pierre Jr. And guess what? The Iowa State program didn't really know much. We talked to Coach Heacock. He said, yeah, we don't know about much on that offense, but we know about number 3 in white.
Pierre in motion. Now becomes the third wide receiver. And they look for the tight end, Dallas Holmes, and he has it right at the line to make. Inside the 35, near the 33. Cooper Ebel, number 47, making the tackle. This Heacock-led defense is without Zamir Hawk in today's game in the forward wall.
Yeah, so pressure on the quarterback is something that you might not see, especially in a quick game situation like that. A nice job of getting that ball out quickly so you can continue to move the chains.
Ezeagu, orange. Young man they're high on, Kamori Moore, 52. You'll see plenty of him in the middle. Play fake. Bowden gets it out to Holmes again, and he is stopped. And with second effort, does manage to get it to the 30-yard line. And Devin, let's get your game plan for this one.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Get More game plan, sponsored by Geico. Switch and save and get more with Geico.
Nice job.
For South Dakota, you got to hit Rocco Beck hard. When we talked to defensive coordinator Travis Johansson, he said we got to hit him hard and make them think about running him as much. Hit him as many times as we can. And for Iowa State, you have to find rhythm in the passing game. And Tim, to be quite frank, they've already done that. They started that early in the game. They set the tone, and they got to continue that process.
Once again, they have Pierre in that backfield, and the motion back to Nell Bryant. Gets it coming back the other way. That was a nice move. That was a good look on that play call from offensive coordinator Tim Morrison, who did coach the tight ends. And interestingly, the offensive coordinator, one of the reasons Fresno might have been on my mind, the former offensive coordinator was the Fresno offensive coordinator now we saw just a week ago, Josh Davis. And Morrison moves from tight ends coach to coordinator of this offense. Out of the gun again. Quick pitch to the wide side, Pierre. Well, that's a shoestring tackle and a good one because it would have gone for a large gain had not Marcus Neal made that move to get over there to make the stop. Number 31. Second down and 7.
You can see kind of a switch in the way they play. They huddle. They get in the huddle. They want to make sure that the quarterback can look into the face of all his young contributors that he now has to depend on.
L.J. Phillips, his given name is Linden. Number 24, Phillips Jr. Checks in at running back, number 24. And he'll tote it. And he spins off the initial contact by Jace Gilbert, number 55. And forges ahead to the 15-yard line. This is exactly what South Dakota needed in the aftermath of that 4-play quick-hitting drive to open this game, authored by Rocco Becht.
Yeah, for South Dakota, they're doing a really nice job of running the football. So if you're defensive coordinator John Heacock, you got to find a way to stop that. And the way you do that, especially down in your tight, is bring safeties closer to the box to make sure you force them to throw the football.
Third down and 3. 13 personnel. Bryant is in motion again, and he's got it again. And it's a first down as he's thrown out of bounds just shy of the 5-yard line. Well, they're giving him a lot of eye candy here, regardless of formation.
To run this play, you have got to capture the edge. Take a look right here. Number 31 in red. He's the edge setter. Marcus Neal Jr., he gets captured right away, and so now you can get the edge, get around, and make a play for a first down.
This is the 11th play of what has been a 6-minute drive for South Dakota. Phillips remains the setback. Ball is on the ground. Zach Woody was in that backfield and was making a move. It looks like Wyatt Lawson, the transfer from FIU that has become the veteran leader of this offensive line, was there to pick it up.
Tim, that's a under center. Let's see if we can see. Oh, no, that's the center, 100%. Yeah. Usually if you're a quarterback, it's on you. That time it's on the center. The ball just slips out of his hand, and it's very lucky for South Dakota they're able to jump on that. That's what things like that is what Iowa State feasts on. They're able to retain the football.
Happiest man in the building is Lawson, the center. Out of the shotgun. Bauman's pass is caught. And that's Lorenzo Finner, touchdown. Boy, at the point of attack, it looked like he had been stoned right at the white line going into the end zone and pushed back, but he apparently got the ball over it for the touchdown.
Finner does a really nice job here, right? Because like you talked about, he catches the ball outside the end zone, but now it has to be forced. He's met at the goal line, but then he continues to drive and push, and he just barely gets the ball across the white line.
Yeah, you had to look at it a second time, though, didn't you? It was close. Devin, that was a 12-play, 75-yard drive. I'd say the guys from South Dakota were unfazed by the opening sequences of this game.
Absolutely. They came to play, and you have a veteran quarterback. He trusts his guys. They get it to Finner. The skinny guy out there goes and drives his leg to get in the end zone.
Sweet lefty. Sweet lefty.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network so you can watch the game together, even when you're away.
Here we go, man. We got it. We got it.
Yes, yes, yes! Go, go, go! Go, 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 go! Yes!
My wife is having a baby.
Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day's service. That's all part of the AT&T guarantee.
Where's the beer guy?
Bud Light here?
Bud Light here!
Bud Light here?
Bud Light where?
Bud Light here?
I missed that because of you.
Hey, got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice.
Never mind.
Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
With Chewy Pharmacy, save 20% and make every pet a healthy pet. Get quality meds to help with anything. Fleas, allergies, or recoveries. Delivered fast. For great prices, for life with pets, there's Chewy Pharmacy.
Yeah, trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. Got my bestseller. Bullseye hit it the most, it's no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no different. Blindfold on me, I still got the most vision.
Looking clean, my boy. Keep up, no?
The Jimenez family are having battery issues, but an AutoZoner helps them find the right Duralast battery. Don't miss the end of summer sale with great deals and rewards. Now until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. My meal of misfortune is now at Wendy's. It's pure torture with uniquely excruciating dips of dread. Enjoy the anguish.
Sad news, wrestling legend Hulk Hogan passed away.
Rest in peace, brother.
And you're not gonna know what hit you.
Real American Freestyle Hulk Hogan Tribute, live tonight on Fox Nation.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico. That was just a thing of beauty. Fenner on the receiving end, 12 plays, 75 yards, 7:26 off the clock to knot this game at 7. Aiden Flores back deep. And they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. Time for us to go above and beyond. And there's plenty from an above and a beyond standpoint to talk about with these two guys.
Yeah, Carson Hansen, the tough runner. And then you got Abu Sama, who's also tough, but he's got some home run hitting ability that you know all about. These two guys are two guys that they know they can count on and they're going to lean on. When we talked to offensive coordinator Mauser, he said, listen, I know these guys a lot better. I know exactly the type of runs I need to get each guy individually, and he's geared the game plan toward that.
They open this series empty with 5 wides, and it's Xavier Townsend, number 4. And he gets it out to the 43-yard line for the first down. Jaden Crawford, number 10, the stop.
That's exactly who Xavier Townsend is. Remember his time at UCF. It was those quick hitters, and then you find a way to make guys miss. He's shifty, he's quick. He's the guy that can get a lot of that yak, the yards after catch.
Yeah, you know, he did pretty well in a matchup they had here against Iowa State.
Yeah.
And Matt Campbell, I think, said, I believe I want that guy.
I like him.
That was a miracle comeback by Rocco Beck to keep his team undefeated at the time. Carson Hansen out to the 45. It's interesting, Mauser, depending on the matchup in the game, the way he uses these two running backs, because in Dublin, it was pretty much Abu Sama in the first half, more of a straight line, home run hitting running back. And then in the second half, Carson Hansen dominated the game, getting tough yards as well as being used as a receiver out of the backfield.
Yeah, and Tim, you know, we tried to figure out the pattern, and that wasn't the case. It wasn't a pattern of, hey, we're going to play you in the first half, you in the second half. It was more of, this is what the situation dictates, and I'll use you the way you need to be used.
On second down, Beck's throw is beautiful. Only his guy could catch it. And it's reeled in at the 37-yard line by Tyler Moore, number 82. Another tight end. They've got so many of them here.
Just a simple concept with perfect execution by Rocco Beck.
One more time, quick curl, and that's Eli Green. You know, he missed the spring with a shoulder problem, but boy, he's been dynamite during fall camp. And he gets up for 5 yards on that reception, 2nd and 5.
It's really encouraging to see the wide receivers and tight ends making these catches because, like we talked about last week, it was a wash. Literally, water everywhere. They were unable to make all the plays they want to make. They made some in the past games, but it wasn't what they thought it would be this season.
Quick pitch to Hansen. And I think they may have stopped him about a half yard shy of the first down. Wade Abrams, number 49, the middle linebacker. Redshirt junior from Fox River Grove, Illinois, with a stop. He transferred out of Valparaiso. So 3rd down and a short yard to go as they spotted at the 28. Line to make is the 27.
And remember, Rocco Beck is alive as a runner, but they're going with the eye set, so you expect Hansen to get this football, but the naked bootleg is not out of the question.
Rocco keeps it. Thought initially he had the line to make. The forward progress should spot him in a position for the first down. And they do.
Tim, we talked at the top of the show about the character development of Rocco Beck, right, through the years. Remember, years ago, we would talk to the coaches. They want him to run more. Can you use your legs just a little more? And his legs were the difference a week ago in Ireland. And you can see they're still leaning into his ability to get first downs, make plays with his feet.
Carson Hansen remains in the backfield. And in motion is Bramer, the tight end, who's already got a touchdown. Look out. RPO action to Bramer, who stumbled about the time the ball was arriving. Probably could have gone for at least another 5 or 6 yards had not that been the case. So a gain of 4 this time.
Yeah, that's the old naked bootleg that I talked about. You don't block the defender on the outside, and you got to find a way to navigate that throw. But because of the defender, you got to throw that ball a little bit low. And Bramer, 6'7", 255. I'm just telling you, those balls are a lot harder to catch.
Sama back in the backfield now, replacing Hansen. Look out. He gets to the second level. Takes it to the 16-yard line. We went downstairs before the game. R.J. Stewart made the stop. And my partner made absolutely certain that Abu Sama got to meet me before the game. I think you let him know while lifting weights yesterday, right?
Oh, yeah. He loves him some Timmy B, and Timmy B loves him some Abu Sama.
Yeah.
And I've really loved how he's developed through the years as well. Oh, yeah, he wouldn't let. I said, Tim, you got to let him get back to his deal, right? He has things to get ready for today.
Yeah. And now look, Sama is out of the gun. And a little wildcat. And how do you do, Abu?
You can see Abu Sama, they sneak him into the quarterback position, and now you get an extra blocker. Hansen runs through, doesn't have anybody to block, and Abu Sama finds his way into the end zone. How about that, Tim?
That's a little how do you do from Abu.
Oh, yeah.
He made Spencer Tillman and yours truly look so good at Farmageddon at the end of 2023. Let me tell you.
He just made our producer look really good.
We were told, here's this freshman. He wasn't even on the depth chart before the game. And they said, you might want to take a look at this kid. He goes like 75 in the snow in Manhattan, Kansas.
No trouble. Give me your arm.
No, it's not for that.
Who are you?
Patrick. I play football.
This is Patrick, everyone. Give it up for Patrick. He does sports.
So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm.
Why is no one clapping?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Marathon is rewarding fans with savings of up to $1 per gallon. All by earning rewards on every gallon and on select in-store items. Making every pit stop and snack break worthy of a celebration.
Score.
The more you fuel up, the more you score with Marathon Rewards. Marathon, the official fuel of the Big Ten.
Today, let's paint with Behr.
Wait, we don't have Behr.
Well, what do you have?
It just says ain't.
I thought you said you researched this.
Aren't all paints the same?
No, they're not. Get the most trusted paint brand in America at an everyday low price, only at the Home Depot.
Calling all fall fanatics. The new DQ Fall Treat menu has arrived for just a limited time. Go fall in and enjoy the pumpkin pie blizzard treat. Or try our new caramel toffee cookie blizzard treat. Taste them before they're gone. Get it delivered in the app.
This field belongs to the ones who take it. This season doesn't come with the script. This is where everything is earned, and we mean everything. We don't do handouts here. You want the spotlight? Earn it. You want to shine different? Prove it. 30 years strong, and we keep shining brighter. This is Big 12 football. This is a different league.
Rocco Becht and Iowa State take on Iowa. It's Big Noon Saturday on Fox.
Nine plays, 75 yards, 4:32 off the clock, culminating with the Wildcat run right on our producer Jake Jolovet's cue from Abu Sama. And now Tennell Bryant awaits this kick that is boomed through the end zone for the touchback. And it's South Dakota's turn yet again. Both offenses have been scintillating here at the outset. Beautiful Ames, Iowa. The 8th time that Iowa State and South Dakota have played in Ames. And that Coyote TD last drive was the only time they've ever scored.
Jersey Mike's is now an official sponsor of the NFL.
Hold on. You're stealing my job.
I don't want to steal anything.
Lies. Eli's.
I just love these subs.
It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Lowe's knows when you start grilling, the guest list starts growing. That's why we help you get everything you need and more.
Mind if I crash the party?
Dak Prescott.
To help make the most out of every gathering this fall.
Appreciate you guys.
For years, everyone thought Verizon had the best network, because they did. But now the best mobile network in the U.S. is T-Mobile. Some fancy experts finished a network test, and T-Mobile sort of opened a can of whoop-up. T-Mobile's network has the most advanced 5G, with more towers, and their signal reaches further than ever. So you can text and Insta-talk and say, "You won't believe where I am." Seriously, where am I? Hey, I got signal.
They look different online.
Jeez. Wow, that's a lot of rolls. When you prefer a dream vacation over a rental nightmare.
Gesundheit. Let's get you checked in.
It matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
Michelin innovates on the road and far beyond. With airless tires designed for exploring new frontiers. Michelin, motion for life.
Great. Wait, why is Danny DeVito fishing in here?
Oh, that doesn't matter. This is a Jersey Mike's commercial. So what matters most is your sub and that sub bowl. Don't tell anybody about my secret spot. Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Simple games, serious money. 99 to Beat premieres September 24th on Fox.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Pacific Life, building confident futures for nearly 160 years. (14-7) our score, and Charles Pierre is getting his touches, and boy, oh boy, has he been effective when he's had them.
Yeah, Tim, they said they want to get him 20 to 25 touches, and on that last drive, 12 plays, he got 4 touches, 3 runs, and 1 catch. That's 1/3 of their production already.
And there he goes again. Almost a first down on that carry. Gets out for at least 8 yards. Kyjon Cummins-Coleman with the stop. They'll actually give him 9, so he's a yard away from a first down.
Tim, he's got a real knack for just waiting for his offensive lineman to watch guys down and without breaking stride, right? He kind of slows his feet a little bit so he can burst and accelerate through the hole once it's created by his offensive lineman.
Pierre is another guy that decided to stay. They didn't think they'd keep him. They lost so much from that semifinalist team from the FCS a year ago. Bauman with plenty of time. Markers down. Pass goes incomplete. Intended for Jack Martens, the captain of this offense, their most secure receiver. Looks like a hold against the Iowa State secondary.
Holding. Defense number 4. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Jeremiah Cooper, the strong safety, the guilty party, the senior from El Paso. Bauman misfired on his first pass attempt, but then connected on 4 consecutive passes for 48 yards before that interference call, or excuse me, holding call.
You see him right there. He's going to get his feet kind of tripped up, and once he trips up, he starts to pull and falls down and tries to hold.
2 backs now flanking Bauman. L.J. Phillips Jr. and Pierre. And it's Pierre wrapped up this time behind the line of scrimmage by Cooper Ebel. One of the things that John Haycock, defensive coordinator, really prides himself on is getting tackles for losses, putting the opposition behind the chains.
And he's done that to this point. But South Dakota, they've handled it.
Yeah.
They've been behind the chains, but they still found a way to pick up first downs and make plays down the field against this talented Peacock defense.
Matt Campbell really leans on his experience, and that was a quick first quarter, was it not? Both offenses very effective. Couple of neighbors, one a power in the FCS, another a power in the Big 12.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. Now I have Skyrizi.
I've got places to go and I'm feeling free. Controlling my Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
And now I'm back in the picture. Feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements. Skyrizi helped visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. And with Skyrizi, many were in remission at 12 weeks, at 1 year, and even at 3 years.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or UC.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease. Skyrizi is also approved for ulcerative colitis.
And Doug.
Imagine if we could tell everyone here that Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance to save people hundreds.
Leave him! It's a mascot!
Oh, what's this? A fan has run out onto the field and he's not wearing pants.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Get yourself ready for a trip through McDonald land. There's fish, shake volcanoes. You'll even find a French fry flash. But just turn around and see if you won't find a hamburger patch. As a handful of McDonald's and McDonald's.
Come get the new Mount McDonaldland shake when you order the McDonaldland meal.
There's a spirit of innovation radiating from the Iowa State campus. You can feel it flowing through every building and in the hearts and minds of every person who studies and works here. It inspires a culture of creativity and collaboration unlike any other university, which is just one reason Iowa State was honored as the Entrepreneurial University of the Year for the Americas. At Iowa State, the spirit of innovation is in everyone, guiding us to create a brighter future for all.
I had a car accident, and I lost 8 years of my memory. I used to run this department, and now I'm an intern. I need my life back. I am your new chief of internal medicine, and I'm excited to captain the ship. But in 2 months, there will be an official evaluation. Some of you will not survive it. I need to be the doctor that I was. I will do whatever it takes. You're having memories? They're just weird flashes. You're bleeding. We need to slow down your treatments. No, it's my only shot. You're reviewing my cases? You are still auditioning. Well, I'm not going anywhere. I have lives to save. You saved my life. Just make the most of it. Every path we choose comes with a price.
Here's a look at today's game summary, sponsored by Pacific Life, building confident futures for nearly 160 years. Well, there's a lot to recap from an offensive standpoint. Bauman's up to a great start.
Yeah.
And so too is Iowa State with some big plays from Rocco Beck and Busama.
For fans watching, this is what veteran quarterback play looks like. Both these quarterbacks are playing extremely well.
And the lefty slings it out here towards the boundary to Fenner. And Lorenzo Fenner unable to bring that one in. He had the touchdown reception on the opening drive. Redshirt sophomore from Independence, Missouri, and is one of these guys that has really come on strong of late.
You can see him go up and make that, what I like to call, combat catch. Wait a minute. I don't know if his foot touched out of bounds, Tim. I think his foot did not touch out of bounds and his elbow touched inbounds. Wow.
Yeah, that's interesting. You're right. Might have been worthy of a look. 3rd down and 11. Pierre in the backfield. Stays in to block. Bauman again. Corner route. And that one is caught inside the 25 at the 23 by Martens. The sure-handed one out of Cumberland, Wisconsin.
what an outstanding job. They say, hey, okay, we think we had a completion before, but we'll just go and take Martinez with the slot fade down the field and another combat catch up and above to make it, and that's a first down for South Dakota.
Working over Caleb Bacon, number 26, had him isolated against a weak side linebacker. And he won that battle. 35 yards on the play. Again, outstanding penetration, this time from Jamison Patton, the free safety, reading run all the way.
Hey, Tim, take a look at this body control by Lorenzo Fenner. They said that he is their combat catch maker, the downfield guy they want to take shots to. His body control is incredible. He does not touch that foot out of bounds, right? So take a look really closely. He's going to go up in the air, squeeze this football. That foot is trying to get inbounds, but it doesn't touch out of bounds, and his elbow touches first, right? So body part inbounds, that's actually a catch. But guess what? The point is moot.
Still an acrobatic play.
Amazing play.
2nd and 10. Bauman. Boy, look at that dart. It's tipped, though, and it's picked off by Jamison Patton. And he is out beyond the 20. They rule him out at the 26-yard line. A hard luck interception on what is a difficult throw. Rolling to your right for a left-hander. Not an easy pass to make.
Tips and overthrows, Tim. Say it with me. Tips and overthrows. Tips and overthrows. When the ball is tipped in the middle of defense, that's when all those interceptions come. Iowa State turns it over. They're on offense when we come back.
Of the day with chips and a drink for just $6.99. Or if you're big hungry, make it a footlong for only $3 more. Huh, big hungry. Is that a thing? That should be a thing. Find your fresh with the all-new $6.99 meal of the day at Subway.
The salt on that Dos Equis could have ended up in a half-empty pantry. But now, it's lucky enough to find itself circling a crisp, refreshing, dressed Dos Equis. Congratulations, Salt.
With DoorDash Streaks, you rack up weekly discounts, so you win every week. But so much winning energy can be a lot.
That's a lot of winning energy.
Win every week with DoorDash Streaks. Opt in, order every Saturday, build the savings.
Rocco Beck and Iowa State take on Iowa. It's Big Noon Saturday on Fox.
14-7 our score. Iowa State with the first turnover of the game comes at a fortuitous time for them because South Dakota was rolling right along and Bowden was having quite a day. And Rocco's now 6 for 6 on his first 2 drives. And Carson Hansen forges ahead past the 26 to the 29-yard line. And what the tape says.
I mean, Tim, I don't even know if we have to tell everybody what the tape says because he's putting it on tape as we speak. This is a quarterback that is a fierce competitor. You saw that in Ireland. And then he's a high-level processor. That's that 6 for 6 that you just talked about. And then underrated runner. His ability to run and break and make plays with his legs has been great and is going to be great for Iowa State moving forward.
2nd down and 4. With Hansen in the backfield. A couple of tight ends, too, 12 personnel. And look at that. Sneaking out, Gabe Burkle. Add him to the list. Bramer, Burkle, Moore have already caught passes. Alexander and Roskup yet to come, I assume.
Nothing special. He's just up the seam, right past all the defenders. But because of the run fake, you start to get nosy, and your responsibility is to cover the tight end. That's what happens. Wide open down the field, and I just talked about it. That ability to process, see what's happening downfield, make the play. Outstanding job by Rocco Beck and Burkle in concert. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me retract that. Not 6 for 6, 7 for 7.
Yes. Burkle goes for 44 yards on that play. Rocco. Look at that presence in the pocket. Now he takes it out of there and just gets a little bit. I would say maybe 3 yards on a play that could have been a sack and a coverage sack. Chris Dixon back up tackle to Mosai Newsome, who's really the leader of that defensive forward wall for South Dakota.
That's well done by the South Dakota defense. They covered everyone, but that's the evolution of Rocco Becht, the ability to create a positive play and not take a sack. Positive play, 2 hands on the ball, move around, and find a way to get 3 yards, which is a positive gain.
Sama now in the backfield. Becht underneath again to the tight end, Burkle. That last catch was the longest reception he's made in his career. This one a little more like it underneath. And it will set up a 3rd down and a little more than 1. It's a long one.
Tim, you know the cool thing about having Iowa State so much? We've seen the growth of Rocco Becht and how the playbook has evolved, right? It's starting to give these tight ends these options routes because he can really trust these guys knowing where they're going to be instead of 3rd and short opportunities like this. And remember, his legs are alive.
5 wideouts, empty backfield. And this time a rollout. And he gets it ahead to another tight end. 9 for 9 now. And it's Tyler Moore again.
So, Tim, we're watching Rocco run right? And you're thinking, well, it looks like he's panicking. It looks like he's in trouble. No, he's not, Tim. He's just buying a little extra time. He's starting to make sure the defender breaks down, and then he fires a shot for 14 down the field into the arms of his awaiting tight end.
Well, if you're playing the tight end position and you want to play some football and be a go-to guy, Iowa State is your place, man. 180 passing yards already for Rocco. Sama stopped this time, maybe a little behind the line of scrimmage on that 1st and goal. Jeff Bowie, number 93, a member of the Iowa team. Phil Parker had him for 3 years. And you see guys like that. Caden Crawford is another guy that transferred from Iowa. You know, it's hard to get playing time even if you're really good defensively with the Hawkeyes. And by the way, that's who's next on the Iowa State schedule. The Cyhawk game, which will be the home of our Big Noon crew next week. Becht in the corner. It's caught. It's Bramer. It's touchdown. For 10. And Devin Rocco is just doing it again.
They put a tall defensive back out there, 6'4", but guess what? 6'7" is just a lot bigger. He goes over the top and doesn't even have to jump for a touchdown.
Freshman All-American. He had 28 catches this year. The season was cut short for him last year after only 8 games when he had really performed well and was one of the injured Cyclones. But man, oh man, is he playing big right now. 2 touchdown catches already. He's got 5 in his career. It all began with the pick. An overthrow and a tip. An overthrow and a tip.
An overthrow and a tip, or a tip and overthrow.
Superstitions, Matt?
Hi, Carly. It's a good thing Discover makes it easy to be a Big Ten fan.
Totally. I get cash back on my rally cap.
Cash back on my favorite glove.
Cash back on my Lucky Shamrock.
Cash back on my game day chicken wings.
Cash back on my one cleat.
I even earned cash back on my Lucky bobblehead.
You win. Next round's on me.
Earn cash back on every purchase with Discover, the official card of the Big Ten.
World, the time has come to push the button. World, the time has come to push the button. World, the time has come to push the button.
Act now to get $7,500 EV federal tax credit. Use it to get this low mileage lease on this Hummer EV pickup for around $899 per month.
What makes a Carnival vacation fun? A little bit of everything for everyone. Like being this far above sea level and this deep in relaxation. With your very own spot to admire the view and dozens of places to share a meal. Dishing up delicious food from some familiar faces. So no matter what you choose, No one does fun like Carnival.
We're here. Progressive's accident response detected an accident and sent for help.
Did we beat him? Where's Superman?
Saving the world, maybe?
So we did beat him.
Sorry, Superman!
You deserve the best. At Harbor Freight, you can afford it. Performance, durability, affordability. Only one place does it all. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Valvoline Restore and Protect. A first-of-its-kind innovation that returns pistons to factory clean by removing up to 100% of deposits. Restore your engine to perform like new. Restore and Protect. Another first from Valvoline.
Did you know people are 90% more likely to eat breakfast when they're with their crew? And at Wendy's, you can all have 2 of your select faves for just $3. Everyone gets what they want. Yeah, I totally made up that stat. $3 breakfast? Gotta be Wendy's.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Wendy's. 2 for $3 breakfast. Another gem of a drive.
South Dakota, our number 9.
And the job done again by Bramer. Bryant is back deep again. And another touchback. Well, next Saturday, I mentioned it a moment ago, the Cy-Hawk Series takes center stage. It all starts at 10 a.m. Eastern on the best pregame show in college football, live from the campus here at Iowa State. Rocco Beck will lead the Cyclones in a showdown against arch rival Iowa on Big Noon Saturday, only on Fox. Look at that series, 72 years. I've had the good fortune of calling this game more than a few times. Iowa leads it all time. A lot of close games. I mean, Iowa State has been on the lower end of a lot of very close football games throughout this series. Always competitive, though. Charles Pierre out of the backfield, and once again, that secondary smells a screen anytime they see it. And a fantastic defensive move. Surgis that time, the sophomore, Drew Surgis, coming up to make the tackle.
Does such a nice job of assessing what's happening and then shooting the gap, making sure he gets through there before he can get blocked by any offensive South Dakota Coyote.
Well, the Iowa State drives I mentioned before, 4 plays 75, 9 plays 75, and 7 plays 76. So now you got to answer again, and you're behind the chains on this drive if you're Aiden Bauman. Pierre trying to get some of it back on the ground, but nothing doing. Let's go down to Josh Sims. Josh, on Bauman.
Well, guys, just want to talk about Aiden Bauman a little bit. I talked to him this week about returning here to Iowa State, and he said all the right things, saying it's just another game. But after he threw that first touchdown, you could see the intensity, jawing with the student section on how much it meant to him to come back here and throw a touchdown here. But a little more frustration after that last pick. Let's see if he can bounce back here, guys.
Well, he holds the key to the entire organization, according to his coach, Travis Johansson. Here he is stepping up in the pocket. Tough angle as he was moving forward to release that one, and it falls incomplete. Dallas Holmes was the intended receiver.
Toa McDonough does a really nice job of being that drop defensive lineman defender, and he's the one that's able to get into the face, number 58 in red. He's able to get into the face of Bauman and make that an errant throw.
Well, somehow, some way, the South Dakota defense is going to have to find a way to get off the field. It's now a 2-touchdown game. And Iowa State was going for the jugular there with the punt block on. Managed to get rid of it. 47 yards the boot. A really good one considering the pressure for Tyler Ebel. Matt Campbell's team is rolling right along, up by 2 touchdowns.
Fansville, Special Teams Unit.
How's it look?
We got multiple punctures.
Evidence suggests a crime of passion.
It appears we have ourselves a flag planting.
Those tech fans make me sick.
We got a composite.
Is that a duck with ice cold Dr. Pepper?
That's no duck. That's a platypus. And a mascot always returns to the scene of an upset. Get that fan!
Stinks!
College football, it's a Pepper thing.
This is the one who never stops. She works around the clock and knows when it's all on the line. Having the right supplies makes all the difference. The industrial-grade products you need. Call quickgranger.com or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for two.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
Do you want to shape and lead the future? Walk with us.
It's the team, the space, and the place that's gonna get you where you wanna be. It's USD.
I'm a tennis player, but I'm more than just an athlete.
You don't know how your body's going to recover through a pregnancy.
You have to fight really hard. Nothing is ever over and you're never out of the game.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico. As we come back to this beautiful afternoon in Cyclone Country, boy, has the productivity on first down been there for Rocco Becht and company.
Yeah, absolutely, and a productive first down is 4 or more yards. They're at 56%. That means that 56% of the time they're having productive plays on first down. And then on third down, they're 3 for 3, 100%. And you know, Rocco Becht is 10 for 10. And I think he just changed that to 11.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's been rolling nothing but 11s and 7s so far today. Xavier Townsend catches that one. Matt Walsh, number 13, with a stop. Was that a beautiful grassy knoll that our director, Dustin Dente, got a picture of coming out of the break? I mean, it is just a magnificent late August day. And the fans are loving it. That's some real Midwestern grass right there. 2nd down and 4. Hanson runs into a stone wall provided by the Coyotes. Chris Dixon, the first to meet him, but he had plenty of help. And this is a big 3rd down situation. By the way, Becht now, for the 5th straight time, has at least 2 touchdown passes. So he has been money. And as we mentioned a moment ago, he's not missed a pass yet. Somehow, this South Dakota team's got to stop the bleeding on 3rd down. Carson Hansen stays in the game but moves flanked out. So they're empty with 5 wides. Beck's going to run for it. And I think he got it. Knew the line to make and got there in the arms of R.J. Stewart. So move the chains, and they're going to go quickly here.
Character development, Tim. The ability to get into that formation and have your quarterback just run outside zone to pick up a 5-yard first down.
And this pass is taken inside the 50 to the 48 by Bramer. Already 2 touchdown receptions for him, but he's got plenty of help at the tight end position. 12 consecutive completions to start a game. That is the longest streak ever in the Matt Campbell era, which measures now 10 years.
So impressive.
It sure is. It's not like they haven't had some really good quarterbacks here. Some kid named Purdy, I think you may have heard of. The pitch out to Hansen. And he cuts it back up to about the 46-yard line, stopped by Carter Hooper, number 95. I got another quarterback name from the past here at Iowa State for you. David Archer. Remember that name? A magnificent quarterback here back in the day. Also quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons.
I got one for you, too. Seneca Wallace.
Ah, yeah. He won the Independence Bowl in my hometown of Shreveport, Louisiana.
There you go.
Played for Dan McCarney, who's still very active in this Iowa State program. Huge fan and beloved in this area. Carson Hansen in the backfield on third down. Oh, that one is taken out of the air. Yet again by a tight end. This one, Burkle. That one had a chance to be picked. It really did. He just stayed with it. You talk about a hard-fought catch. That's exactly what that was.
They don't talk about the arm strength of Rocco Becht enough. You got to have strength to get that ball in there with minimal space.
Eskelson on the receiving end this time. I mean, it is just fire away.
Tim, I'm just telling you, this is like LeBron James, Game 6. Like, he can't miss, right? He is putting this ball perfectly placed every single time the appropriate throw is made from Rocco Becht.
Now, we talked about it the other night when we were at Minnesota, right, about the kid from Arkansas, right? Drake Lindsay. Ball placement. The ball is right where it needs to be. 14 of 14 now for 212 yards. Well, they stayed home that time. Sort of, I believe Niall Dickel knew that one was coming. The senior out of Minneapolis making the stop.
Well, because he's playing so great, we got to nitpick something, right? So let's nitpick this. He wants to get on the outside on there, right? He's got a lead tight end. He starts to try to go back in. I would love for Rocco to get on the outside, continue to take the edge, and go get 3 or 4 yards and step out of bounds.
Yeah.
It's tough, you know. You're playing so good. You got to find something, right?
It is. And you can tell that this is a Iowa team that respects the opponent today. This is not your typical FCS opponent. It's a really good one. Pass is incomplete. Outstretched arms of Keaton Roskop. He is the 5th tight end to be targeted today, and that's the first miss. So it ends a streak of 14 consecutive. So I guess he's human. He's 14 out of 15 now.
Yeah, and Keaton Roskop, he's a younger tight end, a redshirt freshman, right? You can see they're not on the same page. Rocco Becht is expecting him to sprint out of there, and he starts to kind of throttle down. So now it looks like a bad pass, but it's just a miscommunication between quarterback and tight end.
Well, you see that got a little teacup formation there with the 3 wide receiver set to the wide side of the field. Becht tucks it, takes it to the 10.
I don't see any movement on the sideline, Tim. I think they're thinking of going for this.
Yeah.
It's a nice job, Rocco Becht. Don't force it in. You're in the red zone. There's touchdowns and there's checkdowns. Well, when you can run, your legs become the check down. He checks it down to himself, essentially, and sets up a 4th and 5.
This is when you know how confident you are in your offense and in your quarterback. 3 tight ends in the game. Looks like they're maybe going to try to draw them. And if they don't come, then they'll opt for the field goal. Yeah, and the timeout taken by Matt Campbell. Through the years, that's exactly what they would do. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout. We'll be back.
Military AI is the future.
Your world is running out of time, but I can help you.
Tron Ares, rated PG-13, only in theaters October 10th.
Kyle Conradry is in fact out there, the redshirt sophomore from Dubuque, Iowa. He'll try this field goal from 28 yards. Out of the hold of Tyler Perkins. 22 of 30 a year ago. You know, as you watched the earlier game today between Ohio State and Texas, one of the things that you think about is the offenses were a bit conservative. Not seeing that today. Why? Because Iowa State's got one in their hip pocket already. And it shows early on today. We'll be right back.
You may know me as Antonio Banderas, but when I use my Bosch fridge, I feel like Antonio Banderas.
Well, I hear you, brother, because when I use my Bosch power tools,
I feel like the Macho Man Randy Savage. You dig it?
Phenomenal appliances.
Powerful power tools.
Phenomenal appliances.
Powerful power tools. Watch this. Elbow.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
24-7 our score. Iowa State with a commanding lead, but probably not indicative of how competitive South Dakota has been from an offensive standpoint. They've just run into a juggernaut, and that one turnover basically was a 14-point swing in the game as they were driving into the red zone. And Travis Johansson's team could not stop Rocco Becht and that juggernaut. And the score, rather than being 14-10 or 14-14, became 21-7, and now they've added a field goal to go with it. Well, coming up at halftime, I believe the Sarge has got a few things to talk about over those proceedings we touched on a moment ago in Columbus. That and more on the State Farm Halftime Show. Let's get it from him.
Coming up on the State Farm Halftime, Texas and Ohio State came down to some late-game drama while number 8 Alabama trying to bounce back starts on the road in Tallahassee. Plus, 24th-ranked Tennessee dominates Syracuse. Tim and Devin, week 1, baby. Late-game drama. We got it all for you. Halftime. We'll see you then.
You got it, Mike. Is it really week 1? Feels like week 3 or 4 for us, doesn't it? Here goes Pierre. And that's another great first down play. Out to the 36, they pick up 11 yards on first down. Somehow, South Dakota defensively, and I know they feel good, even though they got a lot of young people and new people on that side of the ball. They just run up against an Iowa State team that's got so much going for it offensively.
And Tim, before that first down play for South Dakota, they were having an abysmal day on first down production as far as getting 4 or more yards. Only 22% of the time were they doing that, and they get 10 on that play. So that's a nice productive first down play as we approach and get to the 2-minute timeout.
I like that. So far, so good here in the Heartland. Rocco has his troops playing at the highest level possible.
Good boy, Kimber.
You guys okay back there? Yeah. Okay.
What was this one? Do you remember?
Follow the leader.
And this one's really easy.
That's okay.
Hands-free highway driving for a hands-on life. Ford Blue Cruise. On September 5th,
It's Rio! It wants to kill us!
discover the most terrifying true story in the Conjuring universe. The Conjuring Last Rites, rated R.
Michelin innovates on the road and far beyond by manufacturing prosthetic leg belts that allow for greater flexibility of movement. Michelin, motion for life.
Break Brothers.
Hey, Thomas, I told him to use 11 as the standard email font, but he insisted on using...
Your boy's on a crispy, creamy Kit Kat break.
But the...
Your boy's on a break. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
I stand alone with fire inside, with passion burning in my veins.
Even when U.S. women's national team forward Mallory Swanson isn't on the field, she always makes the perfect play. With a Bank of America customized cash rewards Visa card, she'll earn 6% cash back in the category of her choice, like online shopping for the first year from account opening. So wherever life takes you, get the card that rewards you for saving the day.
New Crafted Flats from Pizza Hut are just $5 each till 5 p.m. Choose from 5 handcrafted recipes you won't want to share.
Mom!
And you don't have to. The new Crafted Flats, just $5 each till 5 p.m. and available till close. Only at Pizza Hut.
The Tigers fight for the AL Central rages on against the Royals or
Cal Raleigh's historic chase continues as the Mariners take on the Guardians. Baseball Night in America, next on Fox.
Travis Johansson, the first-year head coach, has been the defensive coordinator here at South Dakota, taking over for Bob Nielsen, who decided to retire after last season. But boy, oh boy, the job he's done and the consistency he brings to this South Dakota team means they're going to be a contender again for the FCS championship. And another nice run on first down by Pierre, right into the arms of Jamison Hatton. And the ball is stopped at the 43-yard line. I really enjoyed our conversation with him yesterday. Yeah. Young man that has done a lot for himself out of the state of Minnesota. And then when you think about it, the guys that he's got working with him, on his defensive side, a longtime friend that he grew up with. That was a pass that he just absolutely had to unload, Bauman, as the strong safety was coming on a blitz. Jeremiah Cooper, and along with Caleb Bacon, they sandwiched him there.
And they're having a conversation. It's not. The referee just said you kind of couldn't hear him. He just said it's not intentional grounding because of the running back that's in the area. It looks like he just threw it at the ground. However, Charles Pierre Jr. was standing right near where he threw the football.
Yep. I got a kick out of listening to Johansson talk about, the stops that he made as a coach to get where he is today. These guys that are coaching at this level, many of them.
First charge time out of the half. South Dakota, 30 seconds.
Almost got a...
Coached at the NAIA level. Well, you mentioned Seneca Wallace a moment ago. How about some of the UFL talent that Iowa State has in the league right now?
Yeah.
Particularly playing for Rocco Beck's dad, former West Virginia All-America tight end Anthony Beck.
Yeah, Keem Butler a couple years ago, Offensive Player of the Year in the league. Willie Harvey, a guy that's always vying for that Defensive Player of the Year. Chase Allen and Mike Rose just knocking guys out just like he did for the Cyclones a while back. And then Seneca Wallace. Now, we talked about Rocco Beck, who you see on the screen with his father, who I saw in the airport, and he's still making me look like a tiny man, even though I'm not, right? We talked about Seneca Wallace, and he has the record for the most consecutive completions at 18 in 2001. And we saw Rocco Beck got really close at 14.
Sure did. 14 out of 15 now. Third down and 3. South Dakota's been very successful in moving the ball up and down the field. They just had a few mistakes. An interception really hurt them. Tyson Bowes comes away with that reception for the first down, so move the chains. They'd love to get some points here, at the very least a field goal, to cut it to a 2-score game prior to halftime.
Yeah, I talked earlier about their inability to have productive first down plays, but it hasn't really bothered them, right? They found a way to recover on second down and third down, and they continue to move the football. Like you said, it's just that bad interception they had in the red zone that's really slowed this team down.
Here remains the setback out of the shotgun. Bowden, crossing pattern, Holmes. And he's down to the 46-yard line. Clock continues to tick. Second down and 7. Another one inside. That's a good look-in pattern to Pierre. They get the first down, so the clock stops. They can stop it 2 more times before we get to the intermission.
So we're going to stop momentarily, so you want to get up to the line and get this ball high quickly.
What is the pocket presence about? I mean, I love this young guy. He's rolling left this time and did not make the same mistake of throwing it back over his shoulder. He got it out of bounds and will live to fight another day.
What was the difference, Tim?
Left-handed,
rolling left. Very good, yes.
Yep.
A lot easier, and you can see a lot better. And he didn't have pressure in his face as well. He navigates the pocket, like you said, really well. And that's what you expect from a veteran quarterback. Obviously not the great runner, but he knows how to navigate, find space, and make plays.
I always told my coaches as a left-handed hitter, if I could have run to third base instead of first, I would have been much better.
You feel like telling the fans
Running
about how you're so weird, where you swing left and you're right-handed sometimes. It's just really weird, you guys.
I'm not ambidextrous. I'm just messed up. 2nd and 10. Bowden loops it out to Phillips. L.J. Phillips out of Wichita, Kansas. Gets it out of bounds to stop the clock at the 33-yard line.
Rocco Becht is playing so well, and I don't want Aiden Bauman to be overshadowed. He's playing extremely well, except for that one blunder. He is playing like a veteran quarterback. You can see there he gets to that completion quickly so you can get out of bounds, preserve timeouts, get in the huddle, get a good play to try to convert on this 3rd down.
3rd all-time passer in South Dakota football history, Aiden Bauman. They need this 1st down. A field goal try now would be from 51.
Top of your screen, you got one-on-one coverage.
Well, they get it to about the 31. That's Bruzina, number 9, the middle linebacker, making the stop. And they're going to take a timeout. And they got 1 remaining. Well, next on Baseball Night in America. Cal Raleigh and the Mariners take on the Guardians, or the Tigers continue their fight for the AL Central against the Royals, or the Orioles Giants. Check your local listings for the games in your area next on Fox. A lot to choose from. Well, we touched on Bauman, who knows this field pretty well. We touched on him beginning his career here at Iowa State in 20 and 21.
Yeah, and we talked to Coach Johansson. He said, listen, he's going to be jacked up for this game. He's going to be excited. And he said he came back because he had some unfinished business. I'm just telling you, Tim, it wasn't just the FCS National Championship. I think he saw Iowa State on the schedule.
Oh, yeah, he did. You bet he did. So here we go. They are going to go for it here on 4th and 4. Would have been a long field goal try. Bauman, incomplete again. On the late cross, it was Phillips that was the intended receiver, could not bring it in. So, unfortunately, they come up empty on that 4th down try.
You can see he's waiting for someone to come open, anyone. He has a lot of time. A lot of credit goes to this offensive line. They've done a nice job of giving him time. He has all day to throw this football, but he's not able to get the ball to his receiver. And the players that I circled right before the play, he had him open down the field, but he never even looked that way.
Yeah, he didn't see Fenner, who's wide open going down the sidelines, just streaking down there.
Yep. It's a lot easier to see from up here.
It is, no question. Quick curl and catch by Benjamin Bremer.
That's a 1st down, so you're going to get a quick stoppage. You got to be ready to get this ball snapped with just 20 seconds left. Plenty of time to get into field goal range with 2 timeouts for Iowa State.
Well, you can bet that the pedal is going to stay down on the metal. One more time out to the 49. Yep. Bremer again. Another quick 30-second timeout. We'll be right back.
Hello. Can you play in the NFL? No. But with the Old Spice NFL collection, can you smell like you play in the NFL? Yes. I'm the coach now. Old Spice makes you smell powerful enough to throw a touchdown around the planet and back to yourself. Except now the ball is signed by you, and it's worth $1 bajillion. Time out. Listen, is that the smell of other men wearing your name on their backs?
George Kittle.
Yes. Touchdown. Now you smell like a football man.
They'll need about 20 yards for camaraderie to have an opportunity for a field goal to end this half. But Benjamin Bremer, 6 catches, 32 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a career high for him in just one half's play. Strong go-to guy for Rocco Becht, who once asked our Josh Sims at the conclusion of a game that we had, are you guys going to be in West Virginia next week? We wanted to make sure we were there. They are undefeated when our team comes to broadcast here in Iowa State.
Coach, a really nice job by Hansen of finding a way to make a guy miss and get out of bounds. You got 5 seconds left here now. So if you're Iowa State, if you're Rocco Beck, you got to get a ball to the sideline so that they can step out right away. You have enough time to get one last play to get closer for a long field goal opportunity.
Well, we heard from Sarge a moment ago. Chris Peterson and Bruce Feldman are back in the Los Angeles studios as our big noon crew is finishing up the postmortem in Columbus, Ohio. Rodri has had his moment. He had a very big field goal in that Cyhawk rivalry a year ago. Look at this. Remember this one?
Wow.
Oh, boy. We talked about those narrow losses to Iowa. This was one of those
narrow wins.
Yeah. And, oh, by the way, they were probably thinking the Cyhawk gods had to be with us at long last.
You can hear the conversation right there. How much do you need? How much do you need?
Yeah.
We can get a few yards. They have one timeout left. So you actually don't have to go to the sideline. You can use the middle of the field, but it has to be catch tackle, right? You got to catch, and then you got to go down, down, down right away so you can get a quick timeout if the ball's caught in the field of play.
That was a career-long 54-yarder.
Tim? They're good now.
Yes, they are.
They're going to go now. They're not even going to risk it. They're going to go right now and give them an opportunity to boom this kick.
Well, let's see. They're setting it up at their own 47.
So the conversation was, can you kick it from here?
Can you go 63?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
I know you don't have the Tom Dempsey shoe, but can you match Tom Dempsey's 63 for the Saints against the Lions in 1970 out of the hold of Joe Scarpetti?
Here we go, Tim.
He is a sidewinder, and they're going to take a timeout. It looks like they're going to try to ice him here.
A little ice never hurt anybody.
You probably don't know who Tom Dempsey is or Joe Scarpetti either.
You see how I quickly transfer back to the game because I have no idea what you're talking about, right? So I go right back to, hey, let's go, Tim.
By the way, Don
I'm learning something here.
Don Criqui had the call, by the way, a Hall of Fame broadcaster. Did a lot of Orange Bowls, a lot of national title games. Had the call on CBS for that miraculous kick.
We talked about earlier making sure that you find out what you have at wide receiver. We can see that the pass catches are really good for Ohio State, especially the tight ends. But how about finding out what your kicker is capable of?
Absolutely.
Right, it's all about moving forward throughout the season. And if he has this type of leg, right, you got a real shot. That changes things when you're an offense calling plays.
We call this coaching in the moment, right? Players play in the moment. Coaches want to coach in the moment.
I love going to the kicker and getting a conversation with him and saying, hey, can you hit this?
The Iowa State all-time record for length is 58. So he would eclipse that by 5 full yards. Out of Dubuque, Iowa, from 63.
Oh, my goodness.
Look out!
Oh, my
Look out! History has been made.
Incredible.
Just broke the record in the stadium, which was by Air Force. That was 62 yards. Dave Lawson hit that in 1975. So it's the longest in Iowa State history. It's the longest in Jack Trice Stadium history.
And it had a little bit more to go, Tim.
Did it ever? How about that, gentlemen? Back in our Los Angeles studios, the State Farm Halftime Show. The Sarge, Chris Peterson, and Bruce Feldman. Fellas, how do you do?
Well, Coach, how we doing?
We're doing great, but not as good as Iowa State.
Not as good as that kicker. Not as good as Rocco Beck, who is nearly perfect, as we welcome you to the State Farm College Football Halftime Show. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. The aforementioned Chris Peterson, Bruce Feldman, Mike Hill hanging out with you. Let's talk about that kick, first of all. That was incredible. 63-yard kick to end the half. That's good momentum for Iowa State, even though they had the momentum going into the half.
When I look at this Iowa State team, I think of one thing, confidence. And I think they earned and deserve so much confidence from last week, that victory in Ireland over Kansas State. Hard-fought, 24-21 victory. And I thought Rocco Beck played really well, completed about 50% of his passes, but 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And today, he's like Joe Montana, the second coming. 17 for 18, 247 yards, 2 TDs. And I think the whole team is just feeding off this. This looks like a really, really good Matt Campbell team because, again, South Dakota, Bruce, is no pushover.
Yeah, they played for the
Let's see exactly how many of those Rocco completions did we have there for you coming out of the break. At the half, really an historic first half for Iowa State. They lead it 27-7. And listen, South Dakota hasn't played poorly. All right, Rocco's just been that good.
I couldn't have said it better myself. He has been that good. He's been the veteran quarterback we expected to see. And we tried to tell you, last week was a wash. The wide receivers, the tight ends, they are all in sync with their quarterback, and he has been special today. Take a look at some of his day so far. It started with the very first play, and then look at this. How about the offensive line creating a perfect pocket? He has had 0 pressures. Count them, Tim. 0 pressures today. He finds the void in the defense every single time. He's been special all day today.
I thought the real key coming in, we talked to Matt Campbell about it on the field before the game. Listen, when you've got a game in your hip pocket that's as important as that one was in Dublin, and it was played in difficult circumstances, and you got out of there with a win, that gives you some optimism, and it gives you much-needed reps coming into your home opener that, quite frankly, you could see was a problem for both Texas and Ohio State today offensively at the outset of Game 1 on Fox.
I couldn't agree more. And we talked earlier.
You see Bryant bringing it up. So now Bryant.
And we talked earlier. Well, Josh told us how exactly when he talked to the coaches, what they said, and we have some more from Josh right now.
Yes, we do. Josh.
Well, head coach Travis Johansson described his guys. Well, he described his guys, Travis Johansson, as wide-eyed in the first half. He said it led to communication errors on defense, giving up big-time plays. They need to settle down and play their brand of football. He said they're doing a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage. They're running the ball. The quarterback, Bauman, is playing well. In the second half, they need to settle in, establish a rhythm to get themselves back into this game.
Hey, is it me, or does Josh look like he's like the front cover of Gentleman's Quarterly today?
It's so unfair. It's like we're in a competition, and me and you are losing.
We are. There's Charles Pierre on first down, nothing doing. I mean, that is an amazing look Mr. Sims has got going on.
Got to step our game up, Tim.
Yeah, I got to call Terry.
And he has to deal with the elements.
Yeah,
right?
He does.
He's sweating down there, maybe, you know.
I think
he still looks good.
Yeah, he's got an air conditioner underneath that tweet.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to have it. Second down at 10 coming up. Aiden Bauman, who really short of the one mistake into traffic, a tip ball on a rollout to the wrong side for a left-hander inside the red zone. That interception probably is the difference in this game being a 2-score and a 3-score game right now. That's a beautiful pass, just rifled right past the defenders, and Zach Whitty, redshirt senior out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, with that catch.
And it seems simple, Tim, but it's not, because you got a free rusher coming into your face, so you have to try to navigate the throw, and that's where that arm talent comes into play, and he has plenty of it. He navigates the throw right to his receiver for a first down.
The offensive coordinator, Tim Morrison, has called plays a couple of different times, but not lately. Taking over for Josh Davis, who went to Fresno State. He's now calling them, the former tight ends coach. Upper Iowa, D2, got the job done as a player and as a coach in Fayette, Iowa. Gets it out to Pierre this time. And a quick team comparison sponsored by IHG Hotels and Resorts. And you look at it there, Becht is the difference there. You see that 247 is just almost unheard of. For just one half of play at the quarterback position. Now, I mentioned David Archer a moment ago, the former Iowa State quarterback, now calls Falcons games, spent time in the NFL as a quarterback.
And remember, last week, Rocco Beck had 183 passing yards.
Yeah.
He surpassed that past that.
He couldn't get over how good Rocco Beck was doing in this game so far. Great hearing from David. His handoff goes to Pierre. Nothing doing. Again, good penetration from the right side of that forward wall of Iowa State. So they're going to have to get it done in the air and loosen some things up. You see those defensive backs. Will McLaughlin, strong linebacker, leading this team. Carson Willick is out for today's game. Trying to keep him healthy for the matchup next week for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. They're 4 out of 6 on third down, so they've been effective. They really need to cash in here.
Got nobody in the back end there. 0. He's got to get this football out. You can see him making some changes.
Bauman looping it again. He loves that fade towards the corner, and it is incomplete. Martins was the intended receiver. Really well defended.
Yeah.
That was Cummings-Coleman, Kai-John Cummings-Coleman, step for step with him, the redshirt freshman.
You know, us quarterbacks, we say there's no defense for a perfect throw. Well, apparently there is, because that's about as perfect a throw as you'll see in all of college football, and that ball is raked out by the defender. Nice job by Cummings-Coleman. But you see 0 coverage. I love that Bauman knows exactly where to go with the football. Get to your man beater with no help over the top. He does that, throws a perfect pass, but you can't finish the catch.
They're going to look at it. I thought the nose of the ball.
On the field. We're going to complete pass. It's under further review.
Yeah, I thought the nose of the ball may have hit the deck before it was raked out of his arms when he was falling down.
Tim, I think this is going to be very clear. I mean, it's a great job of Martins to reach out and squeeze that football, but as he's falling, you can see it clearly hits the ground, and then it bounces back into his hands, and he doesn't complete the process of the catch as he's rolling out of bounds. So I think it's going to be a really quick review, and it's going to be an incomplete pass.
If all you saw was the end there where the ball was raked out as he was sort of somersaulting to the ground.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Incomplete pass, 4th down.
Yeah, didn't take Thomas Considine long. But still a great effort on both men's parts.
Yeah, I mean, Martins swallows that ball. That's a difficult catch with the defender's arms in between. So that's a play where nobody gets a minus, right? The perfect throw, a great attempt at the catch, but an even better defensive play by Cummings.
Tyler Ebel will punt it away. Aiden Flora, 21, is back deep in single safety at his 10-yard line. High spiraling punt. Oh, he fielded that at the 1-yard line. That was a 59-yard boot, but maybe this is the reason why he fielded it. Look at this. Look at this. Flora. 99 yards for Aiden Flora.
That is the perfect example of yes! Every rule in the book, Tim said, do not field a punt at the 1-yard line. But guess what? If you're going to do that, you can field it all you want. He takes it on the right side of the field, and he gets it going on that 200-meter dash around the edge. He has the wall to block, and then he has the speed to go all the way. Wow.
That record may hold for a long time. Let's see if he stays on the line here. Stays off. Oh, no, maybe not. Let's see.
I think he might have hit the white. Oh, that's a sad deal. I think he definitely hit the white.
You think? Really?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just by that pinky toe.
That was going to stay for a long time.
Oh, the fans aren't going to like this, but I think it will be the correct call once it's changed. You do not see a slither of green, and that pinky toe on the left foot is certainly on the white.
What a job, though, by Aiden Flora, Adele, Iowa. Just a remarkable return. And I was going to say, because he did field it at the 1-yard line, and that does look like he's on it right there.
Yeah, you got to be able to see a slither of green, and it doesn't have to be big, but it has to be some, and you can see nothing Wow, that takes away an amazing return.
And I was going to say, you'll never see a 99-yard punt return.
You just don't.
Because you're not supposed to field it there.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, you're never. That would have been a record that would probably be held into perpetuity.
The only person that might be able to break it or match it would have been Flora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, I know you were watching it with us.
Further review. The returner stepped out of bounds at the 33-yard line. The Iowa State's first ball down. Iowa State's ball there, first and 10.
Mike, I got to tell you, this is one time I sort of wish replay would have turned away.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. A 99-yard return. The other thing is, it's like, where's Waldo? Where are you guys? I mean, you have been to so many places in the last 7 days. I'm trying to keep track. But I know one thing. I've been with you every place you've been so far.
That's right.
That's true.
Right.
You have been. You have been. Yeah, this is that was a good call, no question. But man, that would have been nice if it had just been able to have been upheld as a touchdown. Kramer picking up right where he left off with a first down catch.
That's a really nice job by offensive coordinator Taylor Mauser, seeing that they gave them the short tight end all first half. They gave him the short tight end, and you take it, you take it, you take it if you're Rocco Becht, and then the first throw of this next half, you make sure you get it to the guy right behind him on the next level. Those leveled opportunities is what Rocco Becht really likes, and he executes perfectly.
Seven catches, 47 yards, and a couple of touchdowns for him. Hansen on a stretch play. South Dakota's perimeter has been burned today by an exquisite performance by Rocco Becht. But that front four, front seven, if you will, I mean, they've done a really good job sideline to sideline.
Yeah. But the issue for South Dakota's defense is because of the balance that Mauser has created with this offense. 19 passes, 16 rushes. I mean, that's about as balanced as it gets, and you can't understand what's coming if you're South Dakota on defense because of the balance.
Hansen. Great individual play in space by R.J. Stewart, huh? The cornerback from Akukik, Maryland, comes up to make the tackle.
Tim, you can't say enough about the ability to anticipate what's coming, and it's been difficult for South Dakota, but how about this open field tackle? He anticipated perfectly, shot that near hip, outside in, and makes the tackle on Hansen. Outstanding job coming from that corner position.
That's just good read and reaction on his part. 3rd down and 9. 3 wides to the bottom of your screen. Becht, crossing pattern, caught. Burkle, first down. Is it touchdown? Give it to him. Gabe Burkle out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, with his first touchdown catch of the day. Got it going last week for the Cyclones with one. His second of the year.
See if he got in.
Yeah, he did.
So if he gets a body part in the end zone, the ball does not have to go inside the pylon, right? You get the extension of the pylon outside, out of bounds. So if they count that foot in the end zone, then the ball can be outside the pylon and still be counted for a touchdown.
Touchdown indeed. They're going to go for 2 here to make it a full 4-touchdown cushion. And they're going to go empty with the formation, moving one tight end to the top and 3 wide receivers to the bottom.
And Tim, I think they're taking a look at that to decide if the body part in bounds, out of bounds. Yep, they decided that body part being in bounds in the end zone, the extension of the goal line, no matter if the ball's outside the pylon or not, he gets it for a touchdown.
Well, it's game 1 for the officials and the replay booth. Rocco rolling, and it is caught by Tyler Moore. Get another tight end involved. And looks like we got a flag down. So we got a flag down in the end zone. See if it's offensive interference or defense.
Pass interference. Offense number 9. 15-yard penalty. Retry.
Might have been a pick here. A little, as they say, rub or brush if you want to be offensive, but you call it a pick if you're a defensive player, and they tagged him with it. Watch number 9. That's Eskelsen. Brett Eskelsen, that's the guilty party.
Yeah, Eskelsen definitely goes in and puts a little right arm, a little chicken wing, a little right chicken wing on him.
Yeah, Eskelsen is going to be tagged. Eskelsen, who played so well last week. I tell you, the conversations about who's going to replace Jaden Higgins and Noel, those conversations may be coming to an abrupt end this week.
I mean, it's a group effort.
Yeah. They are here today, and they're having a great time, no doubt, watching. Both now a part of the Houston Texans organization. They just go with the extra point instead to make it 34-7. Nothing but good times. It's Gardner and Brando coming at you, cheek to cheek. It's chic. Get down with the bad self. Hot damn.
Okay, Nate, it's just one smile, okay? One smile, and then we can go home, okay? No, that's too much teeth.
Nate, come on.
You gotta look at the camera, honey.
Nate, listen to your mother.
Buddy, look up, okay? No, that's too far up. This isn't working. DeVito, you're in.
Tommy DeVito, backup Nate.
If only there were backups in real life.
Hey, guys, follow me on this one.
But at least there's Progressive to protect your home and auto.
See? Now that's a smile. Okay, now everybody look at DeVito on this one.
Calling all fall fanatics. The new DQ Fall Treat menu has arrived for just a limited time. Go fall in and enjoy the pumpkin pie blizzard treat. Or try our new caramel toffee cookie blizzard treat. Taste them before they're gone. Get it delivered in the app.
If you're a pro, you know top quality Behr paint and Kills Primer are available exclusively at the Home Depot. You know that now there's only one place to get the best value, service, and durability you expect from brands you trust. If you're a pro, you know.
When I switch to T-Mobile, you'll give me a new iPhone 16, and I can keep my old phone?
That's right. No trade-in.
No!
Yes.
Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 on us. No trade-in needed. See how you can save up to 20% when you check the math at T-Mobile.com.
All these folks chugging cans for energy. They got to get this new Liquid IV Energy Multiplier sugar-free. Keeps you focused without the jitters. Ditch the glitch with Liquid IV.
Angel Soft. Well, it's gotta be soft.
It's gotta be strong.
No, soft.
Strong.
No, soft.
No, strong.
No, soft.
No, strong.
Soft.
Strong. Actually, Angel Soft is both. Soft so it's cushy and strong to get the job done. Unlike some other rolls, you don't have to choose. Angel Soft.
College football is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Home and auto coverage you can count on. And by Modelo. Now recruiting full-time fans. Please drink responsibly. Just another magnificent drive for Iowa State. And this is Rocco Bex in his career. This is the 6th time in his career he's thrown 3 touchdown passes. The last time, by the way, was against Miami in the Pop-Tart Bowl, which was a big W for them. Cannell Bryant stopped at the 20. And let's go down to Josh Sims.
Well, I asked Matt Campbell about the play of his quarterback, Rocco Becht. He said, I expected nothing less. I love the way he controlled the offense, made big-time plays in the first half. But you guys know how these head coaches are. Never satisfied, said we got to play better on defense, despite only giving up 1 score. These head coaches, man, never satisfied, Tim.
Yeah, they're never satisfied. And apparently, neither is your Taylor. My goodness, he looks good today. I'm having a bromance with Josh Sims' outfit.
Yeah, that's because he doesn't wear it up here, right? Yeah. He only puts it on when he gets down there.
Yeah. I thought at least he'd say thank you. You know, he didn't even say thank you to us. That pass going the other way, a little fake one way and a toss to the other direction, and Holmes could not come up with it.
Yeah, these cornerbacks for Iowa State, I mean, really, really talented corners and safeties. With Jontez Williams a season ago had a really good year, and he came back and they said he is a different player in a good way. He was already good, but he just continues to improve. You can see him there getting a chance to make a play.
Second down and 10. Interesting story about this team last year after losing to North Dakota State in the semifinal round of the FCS playoffs, and I'll pass it along to you in just a moment. That pass is thrown a little behind Pierre. Bowman, after a great start, has not been as accurate of late, but they lost 6 players to the portal. 6 players. And a few of them, major contributors. And, by the way, for millions of dollars. Yeah. And also, some of the players lost were undrafted free agents that made teams in the league, 53-man roster. So they've had to replace so much on offense, with the exception of Bauman.
10 new starters on defense as well, Tim.
Pierre and Bauman, that's it. That's the only thing they've got returning, but they are going to be another playoff year team in FCS play. Martins can't come up with this one. And you've seen, I think Bauman the last couple of series here has rushed things a little bit, maybe pressing some.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot of what Iowa State is doing. They're throwing different coverages. They're throwing a little zero in there. They're lining their safeties down close to the box and then shooting them back and having cover 2 with the clouded corner, which means the corner's up at that 5-yard area in the flats. And so he thinks he has that short throw, but he doesn't have it like he was having it in the first half.
Tyler Ebel with another beautiful booming punt. Here's Flora again. You think he wants to atone for stepping out? Do you think he wants to atone for stepping out? Do you think he wants to atone for stepping out? Oh, what is next? My goodness, what a run.
Flora needs a drink. He needs to drink a Gatorade, some electrolytes. He is getting a lot of work in this second half.
Yeah, get that man some oxygen.
I mean, these are the ones you do feel, by the way. Not on the 1-yard line, but here, that's a normal deal. And he gets on that 200-meter dash like I talked about, over to the right sideline this time. And he starts to stumble there. He goes out of bounds.
That's a 55-yard punt, by the way, that's returned 56 yards on the return. And he is a little dicked up. It looks like he's up and okay, though. More than anything else, just get some rest, young man.
We're here for our convertible.
How about an SUV?
Want to get out of here?
Hier ist das Schiebedach.
Und hier ist die Sonnencreme.
Okay, let's move on.
Where are those trucks?
We're right here.
Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Yep, still here.
At Ace, we know whether you grill with charcoal, gas, pellet, or griddle, we've got the perfect grill for you. Because only your local Ace has all the best brands in one place, like Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone. With free assembly and delivery of your new grill, along with all the sauces, rubs, and grilling extras, you'll have everything you need for your perfect barbecue. That sounds pretty perfect. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I'm a big rock. And while you're down there posing for pictures, I'm seeing the bigger picture from up here. And this little birdie's telling me it's time for this rock to roll. Photo bomb! And if you don't have the right insurance, this could really flatten your savings.
Awesome.
So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Break Brothers.
Hey, bud. It's your time.
Your son is on a Krispy Kreme Kit Kat break.
Who's gonna do the chores?
Thanks, Break Brothers.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
Everyone's heading to McDonaldland this summer. So come order the McDonaldland meal and try the new Mount McDonaldland shake with one of 6 souvenirs. Ooh.
The IndyCar Series rolls into Nashville for the season finale, where Alex Palou looks to put the finishing touches on his historic campaign. Sunday at 2:30 Eastern on Fox. Welcome to the fastest racing on Earth.
Well, we can close the book on Rocco Beck today, and what a performance. 19 of 20, 278, and 3 touchdowns. The big story is that it's not Connor Moberly that's coming in. It's Alex Mansky, freshman. And he's going to carry it here on first down. Down to the 10-yard line.
So Mansky's a true freshman, and in my estimation, they just want to get him some reps because Mobley is a guy that they really love, and it's just a coach's decision that they're going to put this young quarterback in and give him an opportunity to play because they've seen Mobley play.
Well, also, let's not forget this. The Cyhawk game is next week.
Yeah.
So if something were to happen, and maybe Mobley is your number 2, let this young man get a little playing time. Out of Algona, Iowa, he's an all-stater, 4-star recruit, big-time talent, no question. And here they come with Townsend around the end. And in, touchdown. Now that didn't take long. Xavier Townsend takes it in for 6.
On these jet sweeps, you got to have an edge defender, and the edge defenders are too far. They get kicked out right away, and if you give Townsend that much space, he's going to get in the end zone every single time.
Tyler Perkins.
Chase Smith will come in and try for the extra point, number 34. So the backup place kicker has come in. Looks like they're now going to check to see if the ball. I waited a while before I made this call. I think they're trying to see if the ball made it over. And to me, it looks as though it did. But they just want to be absolutely certain. So Tom Considine is taking a look at it. And apparently they've now waved it off, and it is good. So Chase Smith for the extra point. I've got a big bucket. I'm ready to empty it. We're good.
Time for Timmy B to shine.
Xavier Townsend, the redshirt junior from Tampa, makes it 41-7.
I think I like sports now.
No way. The gecko was just spotted down the street.
I've always wanted to meet him. Ever since Geico's 24/7 emergency roadside service got us out of a jam.
Sounds like you got more than just savings, my dudes.
Sir, do we know you?
Oh, I'm just a stranger who loves friendly service and American football.
Okay. Something to drink?
Oh, yes, spot tea, be lovely. And a root beer with lots of ice.
You know, you kind of look like someone.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
My cousin Daryl.
Oh, he does look like Daryl.
With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, Jason Kelsey can watch every game every Sunday, all in one place. But how much NFL in one place can he handle?
Yes! Whoa!
What have we done? NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Every game, every Sunday, new users pay less.
Harbor Freight tools keep getting better with time. Better performance, better durability, better value. Come on in and see for yourself. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Introducing Taco Bell's $3 steak burritos. From the zesty Chipotle Ranch to the indulgent cheesy melt. We call them rich, but they're just $3. New $3 steak burritos, only at Taco Bell.
Summer is racing by fast, and so is your chance to save big on a new Honda. That's because the $7,500 federal EV tax credit ends September 30th. So save on a Prologue EV by getting one now. You can also get a great deal on a hybrid from the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Hurry into your local Honda dealer during the summer event.
Want restaurant quality meals that actually support your wellness goals? Hi, my name's Pete. Been a chef for the past 25 years. Spent the last 7 years at Factor. Ready-to-eat meal delivery services are not created equal. At Factor, it's personal. Nutrition and flavor is first and foremost when we create any dish. Everything is done from scratch every single day. All our meals are easy, perfectly portioned, and macro-friendly. If you're wanting to cut calories, add some more protein to your diet, or just eat delicious, nutritious meals, Factor's got you covered.
Get 50% off your first box at factormeals.com.
Sad news, wrestling legend Hulk Hogan passed away.
Rest in peace, brother.
And you're not gonna know what hit you.
Real American Freestyle Hulk Hogan Tribute, live tonight on Fox Nation.
Gotta love play the game. Fox College Football is sponsored by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico. Now, what has been a Chamber of Commerce afternoon has also led to quite a party for the Iowa State fans. A capacity crowd, some emptying out now with the game firmly in hand. And on this kick, ball is basically muffed by Tanel Bryant, picked up by Mikey Munn, number 12. And unfortunately, South Dakota will start on their back porch. And that's going to put Aiden Bowman, who's really played well. Aiden Bowman had a very good first half, even though the score maybe was not indicative of it. But the last 3 series, really, he's rushed it. He's not been as accurate. And you've seen a little bit of panic set in. Charles Pierre remains the setback. He's been an effective runner today, no doubt about it. Early in this game, only a turnover would stop this team. They move the ball consistently. That pass is caught.
Yeah, and that's another example, Tim, of that errant throws. You know what I mean? Like outside, wide open guy. We didn't see that early in the game.
Yeah.
And the pressure of this Iowa State Cyclone defense has started to get to him. And, Tim, we see this all the time, right? It's like a python.
That's right.
They just choke you. They choke you. And then they start to choke you out, and you start to unravel.
Well, if you think back to the Texas-Ohio State game, I know you saw it. Arch Manning missed a wide open guy.
Start the game.
At the very beginning of the game. And, you know, when that happens, I don't care how good you are, it can affect you. And then one mistake begets another mistake, and you're off to a shaky start. Pierre, to about the 20, maybe the 21-yard line. The good thing for a program like Texas, however, is it's just one game. You get more credit than not for simply playing it on the road to open your season. And you can still get well and win your league, win a bid into the college football playoff, and as Sark has for the last few years, and be in the mix. Oh, by the way, the Castellanos kid from D.C. is doing okay at Florida State, isn't he?
He is.
He's handling Alabama 24/7. The Tide being rolled as we speak. Phillips is in the backfield. And he gets out beyond the 25 to the 27-yard line. So that'll move the sticks. This man ranks number 3 all-time with 6,402 passing yards coming in to this matchup today for South Dakota. Aiden Bowman.
And 4th in completions with 481. 5th in passing touchdown with 42.
Quick toss to Pierre, and there's a marker down. I think we may have a block in the back. We'll see. Finner was there in position. Sometimes that defender will get his back to you, and it'll cost you. We'll see. Henry Johns is our referee, and is getting the information from his line judge.
Holding, offense, wide receiver to the right side. 10 yards from spotted foul. First down.
That's Finner. The wide receiver on the right-hand side. Yep, right there. Just wouldn't let go.
And, you know, people maybe watching that are not as adept in the rules of football, they're wondering, well, the receiver threw him. How come he can't grab? Well, that's the rules. The defender can do pretty much anything he wants as long as he doesn't go hands to the face. But the offensive player has to make sure he doesn't grab.
A loss of 6. It's now 1st and 16. After the penalty, Phillips Jr. He's getting tagged right at the line of scrimmage almost every time. Zachary Lovett, I should say, the redshirt senior out of Melbourne, Florida, with the stop.
How about the freshman, Kamori Moore, who's in for the out Zamir Hawk? At game time said it was a game time decision that he's going to be out. The young fella has really stepped in and played well. Number 52 in red, true freshman.
Lee Summit, Missouri is his home. Bowden right out of the pocket. Just rifles this one. A little behind his receiver, however. Tyson Bowes, the intended receiver, will be 3rd and 14.
Yeah, and it's still going along the lines of what you spoke about, just the unraveling and the pressure from this Iowa State defense to start to get to the talented veteran Aiden Bauman, and that just serves you. It doesn't matter how long you play, no matter how many yards you have, how veteran you are, if they get to you, it can start to affect you.
Absolutely. Once the Gremlins are in, it's hard to get them out.
Oh, yeah.
3rd down, 14. Bauman flush from the pocket, looking for a little help. And someone does come up and help him, and a late flag comes down. Martin's made the catch.
That hat comes off by the referee. It's usually stepped out of bounds, came in first to touch the football.
Yeah. And it looks like
touching.
Yeah, preliminary indication may be that the flag is also against South Dakota. By the way, Gremlins also affect broadcasting, not just quarterbacks.
Touching. Number 15 in the offense. He stepped out of bounds on his own. He was the first to touch the pass. Result, the Falcons lost it down on the previous spot. 4th down.
Accurately called by our analyst, Evan Gardner. There.
Yes, sir.
Once there's a glitch in the armor of a broadcast, that will beget one other mistake, followed by another.
Except for us.
Yeah, well, I'm just telling.
We get it done.
I'm just telling younger guys what to expect when you get a little nervous.
Things happen.
Things happen.
But guess what?
It's live television.
If you're Devin Gardner, Tim Brando, you get it done, right?
We find a way.
Find a way. And the well-dressed Josh R. Sims as well.
Yeah. Our mistakes go to video heaven. They're forgotten. Ebull with Townsend back deep. And Xavier will let it go out of bounds. 4:44 left in the 3rd quarter. Tailgating is at full force. Oh, man. You come to the Midwest, you're going to get some quality meat and quality fans at Iowa State.
Honey, check it out. You got me mesmerized with your black hair and your fat ass style.
And Doug.
Are you here for Tracy?
We're here for everyone. Limo and I help people save hundreds by customizing car insurance with Liberty Mutual.
We ordered a limo, not a limo.
Oh, yeah. We do that, too.
The limo?
At your service. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
How's it going, Angela?
AT&T's internet works in minutes. It's so easy a baby could do it.
Creed?
Whose baby is that?
It's okay, I asked.
Who?
The baby.
Why is there a baby in here?
We're setting up the internet.
This is a liability.
It's just part of my job.
No, it's not part of
Yes, it is. Hi, Nora.
How did he do?
He was fantastic. He helped set up our internet.
A superior smooth taste worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
Ready? Let's go. 1-on-1. Game 7. I'm gonna beat you my left hand.
Kiss my aura.
At Ace, we know whether you grill with charcoal, gas, pellet, or griddle, we've got the perfect grill for you. Because only your local Ace has all the best brands in one place, like Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone. With free assembly and delivery of your new grill, along with all the sauces, rubs, and grilling extras, you'll have everything you need for your perfect barbecue. That sounds pretty perfect. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Burger King, celebrities don't rule the menu. You do.
Hey, hi ma'am, what do you want?
A barbecue brisket Whopper would be cool.
We hear you. Try the barbecue brisket Whopper today.
The Tigers fight for the AL Central rages on against the Royals, or Cal Raleigh's historic chase continues as the Mariners take on the Guardians. Baseball Night in America, next on Fox.
The pundits in the offseason when discussing Iowa State said, well, you know, they got to replace Noel and Higgins. Jalen had 1,194 reception yards. Third round of the Texans. Jaden was 1,183. Second round of the Texans in the 2025 draft. And as we come back to live play, Dylan Lee is in the backfield. And he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And with more on these two, here's Josh Sims.
Well, Tim, both Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel were here at the game today, both on the sideline. I thought for a second they were going to try and suit up. They were on the bench in the huddles talking with their guys and celebrating as well, but they got honored during this game for everything they accomplished. Both guys, I think it's pretty cool to be playing together in the NFL with the Houston Texans. And we remember from last year with Noel, he's one of the strongest guys pound for pound on this team. So it's good to see him getting a shot at the next level, both of them guys.
Hey, Tim, I'm just telling you, this is a developmental program, right? Hard-nosed football players. And you can see, most guys go back to games, they have their chains on, they have their coolest outfit. They got on workout gear. They probably got a workout in the indoor.
Anytime you're a college player and you experience all the things that these guys did, and then you get to go into the NFL on the same team, that's a cool thing to go to camp with someone you know. You can live the experience together.
Those are kids just like all the rest of the Iowa State kids that came, they developed, nobody else wanted them maybe, and then they became great football players.
Boy, that was a near remarkable catch. A marker is going to come down. Xavier Townsend on the receiving end. And the flag goes against Matt Walsh, 13, the strong side linebacker.
Pass interference, defense number 13. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
I'm thinking of Joe Burrow, who went in the draft to Cincinnati and got to take Jamar Chase with him at the same time, coming off a national championship. To have one of your own with you in your first year as a pro, pretty cool thing. The difference being one was a quarterback and the other a wide receiver, as opposed to both being wideouts. But you get my drift, I know. Lee out of the eye.
Dylan Lee, the Iowa State ball carrier.
Just a thought here I thought I'd pass along. We mentioned Seneca Wallace several times tonight, or today. Rocco Beck's 19 of 20 is 95% in a game, ISU record. And by the way, the previous record, 91.7%, set by Seneca Wallace, 22 of 24 against Baylor back in 2001.
And I'm just telling you, Tim, Seneca Wallace, obviously great quarterback here at Iowa State, but he also is a really good quarterback coach. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not in the NFL coaching quarterbacks at some point.
Mansky ushers himself out of bounds at the 47. Listen, this is a young man that was the number 2 player, number 2 recruit out of the state of Iowa, 20th ranked quarterback in the country, according to those that keep up with such things. Passed for just under 5,000 yards and had 1,414 yards rushing in high school.
Another one of those tall, athletic, dual threat guys that Rocco Beck has to fend off to keep his job. I mean, I just love the grit and the ability of Rocco to just continue to battle. They bring guys in, talented guys, and that's what you want. You want someone to come in that's talented so you can continue to elevate your game, and he's done it every single time.
Time now for our Aflac trivia question, so get ready, partner. Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with Aflac. Who has the most single-game rushing yards in Iowa State history? This is a good one. And don't Google. Do not Google.
I think he's in Detroit. I think he's our running back in Detroit. The Detroit Lions.
Now he's looking for our human Google, Scott Alexander.
I think it's Montgomery.
Yeah.
I think it might be Montgomery.
Yeah. I had him in a Cyhawk game, by the way.
Who do you have? I got Montgomery.
The only other one it could be, the only other one it could be, if not Montgomery, is Troy Davis. Okay. Troy Davis would be the other guy.
Okay, you got Troy Davis, I got Montgomery.
No, I think it is Montgomery. I'm just saying the only other option is Troy Davis.
And how good is he for Detroit, man? That two-headed monster.
Indeed. Well, Mansky gets ahead for the first down. So here comes the answer. I hope we don't get duped. If we're both wrong, I'm really going to be upset. There you go.
You
only other guy
on the table.
Only other guy could be.
Wow.
Only other guy could be would be Troy Davis. You know, I was around then. See, there's some wisdom that comes with age. Pearls of wisdom. I've got them within me.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
That no longer works. The legendary Beano Cook, who along with Lee Corso joined me for the original game day, used to say, Brando, I love it. You know stuff guys your age shouldn't know.
Tim,
unbelievable. How could you know that?
You use this voice so much. I have to hear the original person that did that voice.
I got some tape. I can play it for you.
What a tackle inside by number 0, Nate Ewell. You know, he's the Will Backer as well, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ewell, Will Backer, weak side linebacker.
It works.
Mm-hmm. Born to be a Will linebacker, Mr. Ewell is.
Boy, Xavier's been wide open all day, hasn't he? Here he is again. Townsend hit hard as he just makes the line to make at the 31-yard line, a gain of 11. By the way, that's the last play, it would appear, of the third quarter. Since I mentioned the old guard and Lee Corso, congratulations to him on a career that was just
incredible,
beyond the pale. And kudos to Fox and ESPN for collaborating today to make sure as many eyeballs as could saw the very end of his career on College Game Day. I thought our Big Noon guys did a wonderful thing by broadcasting that themselves. It may be a competitive industry, but it's a small business. And the level of respect we all had for Coach Corso will reign forever. Timeout through 3. It's all Cyclones here at home.
Don't mind Kevin. It's college football season. He's on week 4 of his DoorDash streak, so he's full of winning energy.
DoorDash streaks?
Yes, sirree. He's been racking up savings by ordering every Saturday. This week he's got the delicious Arby's beef and cheddar with curly fries and mozzarella sticks. Isn't that right, Kevin?
That's a lot of winning energy.
Mm-hmm.
Win every week with DoorDash streaks. Opt in, order every Saturday, build the savings.
This field belongs to the ones who take it. This season doesn't come with the script. This is where everything is earned, and we mean everything. We don't do handouts here. You want the spotlight? Earn it. You want to shine different? Prove it. 30 years strong, and we keep shining brighter. This is Big 12 football. This is a different league.
I always wanted to be a mom. I mean, you have to fight really hard. Nothing is ever over and you're never out of the game.
You see that brand new Hyundai Tucson out there? That's how I paid for it.
Do you know what you want?
Yeah.
I think I do.
The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now for a limited time, lease a Hyundai Tucson for $259 a month. Hurry in while they last. Offers end September 2nd.
I remember they gave me a hat with my name on it. The giant tennis ball was mind-blowing. I felt like I was a part of it.
Chase Lounge access at experiences you'll never forget with Chase Freedom Unlimited. Keep summer in gear at the Nissan End of Summer Sales Event. With a Rogue that offers more standard power than CR-V in Tucson. Frontier with a standard V6 unlike Tacoma. And an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus like Pathfinder or Murano. It's no wonder why J.D. Power named Nissan #1 in new vehicle quality. Hurry in to the Nissan End of Summer Sales Event. Now get 0% APR for 60 months on select popular models or get a low $239 per month lease on Rogue.
When your day starts, you may have already missed a lot. That's why Good Day New York is there for you, getting you up to speed with the most relevant news.
Let's talk about what New Yorkers are talking about this morning.
We all know there's a lot going on, so let Good Day help you make sense of it all. Weekday mornings starting at 7.
You see that brand new Hyundai Tucson out there? That's how I paid for it. Do you know what you want?
Yeah, I think I do.
The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now for a limited time, lease a Hyundai Elantra for $159 a month. Hurry in while they last. Offers end September 2nd.
The 10 o'clock news is streaming on the free Fox Local app. Download on your phone or TV.
I'm Chief Alberg.
What have we got?
We may have a murder.
Let's find him.
We want to solve everyone's crimes. You have no idea what you're up against.
Whatever it is, we're better together.
Keep up the good work.
Start Saturday strong with Big Noon Saturday.
Rocco Becht and Iowa State take on Iowa in the Cy-Hall Series. It's Big Noon Saturday and on Fox.
Here's a look at today's game summary sponsored by Pacific Life, building confident futures for nearly 160 years. Rocco Becht was perfect. 14 of 14 before missing his first pass of the day. How about a 63-yarder from Kyle Conragry to close out the first half en route to what is now a 41-7 lead as we open play in the fourth quarter. And Dylan Lee will carry it. Good cutback. It's ahead for about 4 yards on the play. Nate Ewell, as mentioned, a great inside-outside linebacker surname, comes away with a tackle. We've got a weather system that's about 15 miles to our south that could be a factor before the end of this game. We're very hopeful that it'll stay away or that it moves in another direction than due north where we are. But some of the fans, I think, a bit wary of that, have decided to vacate Jack Trice Stadium. Second down and 6. Still a sunny, beautiful day overhead. That pass is incomplete. Thrown at the feet of Chase Sowell. Sowell, the redshirt junior out of Humble, Texas. He's a big find out of the portal. He played at East Carolina the last 2 years after a very brief stay in Colorado. When Deion Sanders got out of there in 22, he was cut. But he really impressed people at East Carolina, and a great pickup given the loss of Higgins and Noel for Iowa State.
Yeah, when we talked to the coaching staff, they said Colorado tried to get him back after he played so well.
They did. They did. Speaking of, that's the team that took one on the chin to a really improved Georgia Tech team at home at Folsom yesterday. Carson Brown.
You remember the story on Carson Brown, a converted DB, right?
Yeah,
to wide receiver. Who says the defensive back position can't catch, right? He's moving to wide receiver because of need and injuries, and he started to excel, and he's played well, and they can be trusted.
Dylan Lee, the redshirt freshman from Gilbert, Arizona, getting some much-needed playing time. Kind of hard to get out there when you got guys like Abu Sama and Carson Hansen. Niall Dickel with the tackle. Redshirt senior out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. I got to see a lot of I-35 the other night. had a joyful trip south down I-35 here into Ames, Iowa. Alex Mansky, who on your depth chart would be number 3, is in there as number 2 today. That pass is caught. Yet another tight end. They carry about a dozen of them here.
He's taking
That's Trip Walsh.
Taking a page out of Rocco's book. He said, well, you threw the tight ends and it worked out for you, 14 to 15, so I guess I'll try it out.
They use their tight ends here, Devin, I think as well as any program in the country. In other words, to set up big play receivers on the edge and your run game, the tight ends are like your fail-safe.
Yeah, they're very important in this offense.
Lee. Give credit to South Dakota. You know, this defense being run by Billy Kirch, friends with Coach Johansson for 25 years. They grew up together, started on the same junior high team. Both were linebackers, and they stayed in touch even though their careers went in diametrically different geographical places. And then when the opportunity arose for Johansson to bring him in to be on his staff, he got his old running mate from those awkward days of junior high to come be on his staff. Dylan Lee gets it down to about the 3. You coach at the NAIA level, D2, and now even at the FCS level. There are so many things that you are responsible for. The totality of being a head coach at the Power 4 level is nothing like the jobs that these guys have to do when you're coming up through D2, NAIA, and into FCS programs. Second and goal. Look at him go. Is he in there? Yeah, he is. Touchdown. Alex Mansky. His first ever touchdown as a Cyclone at Iowa State.
You can see the athletic ability. In high school, he was an all-state performer, but he played baseball, basketball, he golfed, track and field. And you can see right there, he saw that goal line, he saw the end zone. He said, I'm going to stick my right foot in the ground and get downhill. At first, he stopped, right? He gets stopped. And then he says, no, this is not over. I'm getting in the end zone in my first opportunity here at Jack Trice Stadium.
Yeah, DeJuan Lewis made a good hit, but it wasn't going to stop him. Chase Smith with the extra point. You were running down all those different sports he played. That's a beautiful thing. That would make him a 360 guy.
Oh, yeah.
On campus.
All around.
That's a lot of letters on a sweater or a jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you want to wear my jacket when we go to lunch? I got a few.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. My meal of misfortune is now at Wendy's. It's pure torture with uniquely excruciating dips of dread. Enjoy the anguish.
Word on the street side, make it look easy. I'm flattering, cool, way too easy. Word on the street is I make it look easy. I'm actually smooth, it's far too easy. Word on the street is I make it look easy. Too easy.
How do we choose?
I know. Gemini, my skin's dry but sticky from the heat. What here could help?
Tough combo. I see some serums which hydrate without being too heavy.
What do the Korean locals use?
Essence is like a light serum that's popular here.
Which one?
Now this is legit. Say you get a home on Airbnb with a chef's kitchen. Now you can get a chef on Airbnb to cook in it. Or if you get a ski house, now you can get an après-ski massage.
Hi.
Or if you get a place in the clouds, now you can get a yoga teacher to keep you grounded. Homes, experiences, and services. Now you can Airbnb more than an Airbnb.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Pacific Life, building confident futures for nearly 160 years. Speaking of Seneca Wallace and Brock Purdy, I'd say Mr. Irrelevant has done pretty well for himself since going in to the National Football League. 48-7 our score here is this one will be brought out to the 25-yard line. After a little return from a golf cart, let's go down to Josh.
Well, guys, you know, each week we talk about cool stories and traditions on the campuses we go to. And this week in the Sim Spotlight, it's all about the return of the Cyclone helmet cart. Yes, this is something that the program had from the 1980s into the mid-90s. It is refurbished, it is brand new, and it is back on campus. It's pretty cool to see this tradition back, and I gotta say, they know my NASCAR background, but they wouldn't let me drive this thing around. I felt a little disrespected, Tim.
I don't really? Well, maybe it's because we don't have those steep inclines, and they didn't trust you on solid ground. That might be it, don't you think, Devin?
I'm gonna be honest, Tim, I don't know what that
means. Reed Watkins takes the pass. See, when you're at Daytona or you're at Charlotte Motor Speedway,
I'm not as fancy as you.
You go up these huge inclines on the turns, see?
Okay.
And so, but you do that at like 150 miles an hour. And Josh, because he's a NASCAR guy, knows how to drive when he's perpendicular.
But flat ground,
but flat ground might be an issue, and I think they didn't trust him.
Yeah, because he never drives us, right? He's never even offered.
I don't know. I don't want him to drive. Michael Barshop does the driving with this crew. If I'm not going to drive, Sims isn't going to drive.
Oh, no. So you don't trust him either?
Behind the wheel?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
2nd and 12. Bowden's pass is caught at the 30. I trust him to fill in the blanks between plays. Well, that was beautiful. I love the.
So it's not just Iowa State that doesn't trust him behind the wheel, even though he's a NASCAR guy. It's also his own partner, Timmy B.
His own team, meaning all of us up here.
Josh, what do you say about that?
Oh, silence is golden. 3rd down and 4. I gave him all this praise for his outfit. I didn't even get a thank you. From the 31, it's 3rd down and 4. Bowden under some pressure here. That ball is kicked into the air. That ball hit the foot of the defender.
That's the second time.
Popped high.
In 3 days.
That reminded me a little bit of the linebacker in Minnesota the other night. It hit the ball into the air, and then it was intercepted. Actually, the receiver hit it, and the ball popped into the air, and it was returned.
Off the foot.
Off the foot. So it's a punt formation coming. That weather that we were talking to you about a little earlier is moving, but not as much southward as it is towards the west, which might be helpful to us in finishing this game without any inclement weather. Fair catch is made by Xavier Townsend. Aiden Flora, we have not seen since those 2 incredible returns. I think he got all the oxygen he needed.
Now that I'm a mom, things are, well, different. I have twice as many outfits to plan. My overpacking has reached new levels. Verizon's different too. They let everyone in my family choose whatever plan they want. I save money and can keep the same low price for 3 years. Love that for me.
I had to do it, I'm sorry.
Ouch. That's where that was. Found it.
Jersey Mike's is now an official sponsor of the NFL.
Hold on. You're stealing my job.
I don't want to steal anything.
Lies. Eli's.
I just love these subs.
It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
You deserve the best. At Harbor Freight, you can afford it.
Performance, durability, affordability. Only one place does it all. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
The salt on that Dos Equis could have ended up in a half-empty pantry. But now, it's lucky enough to find itself circling a crisp, refreshing dressed Dos Equis. Congratulations, Salt.
Dove Men Plus Care Whole Body DO protects you everywhere. Here, when you're there. There, when you're here. Even down there. Dove Men Whole Body DO. Care that goes everywhere. Everywhere.
And Doug.
Imagine if we could tell everyone here that Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance to save people hundreds. Leave him! It's a mascot!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Break Brothers.
Hey, Thomas, I told him to use 11 as the standard email font, but he insisted on using...
Your boy's on a crispy, creamy Kit Kat break.
But the...
Your boy's on a break. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
Great. Wait, why is Danny DeVito fishing in here?
Oh, that doesn't matter. This is a Jersey Mike's commercial. So what matters most is your sub and that sub bowl. Don't tell anybody about my secret spot. Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
The IndyCar Series rolls into Nashville for the season finale, where Alex Palou looks to put the finishing touches on his historic campaign. Sunday at 2:30 Eastern on Fox. Welcome to the fastest racing on Earth.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico. 48-7. I think the thoughts of any hangover after the trip back from Ireland were taken out of everyone's breath midway through the first quarter of this one. And here goes Dylan Lee to start the fourth. And he sprints out ahead to the 37-yard line for the first down.
And you can see when you get into the depth chart, the depth at Iowa State, they continue to play exactly the way that Coach Campbell wants them to play. An outstanding run by number 2 in red, Dylan Lee.
We've got an injured linebacker. That's Wade Abrams, number 49, that's down on the field out of Fox River Grove, Illinois. And we'll take a break while he's down. Hope that he's okay. They're going to need him. He's one of the real leaders of this team. Transfer from Valpo.
Hilton brings you new ways to stay, so you can relive it all. No matter where your tune takes you. Stay where school spirit thrives.
Oh, ready for game day?
Absolutely.
Little help?
Oh, sorry. Graduate by Hilton.
Hilton for the stay.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the experience of this trainer,
Good to go.
but getting that trainer.
Megan Trainer. I'm all about that brace, no trouble. Give me your arm.
No, it's not for that.
Who are you?
Patrick, I play football.
This is Patrick, everyone. Give it up for Patrick. He does sports.
So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm.
Why is no one clapping?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We have down here and one up there. Nope.
So I just kept going.
This is ours?
I just kept going.
Calling all fall fanatics. The new DQ Fall Treat menu has arrived for just a limited time. Go fall in and enjoy the pumpkin pie blizzard treat. Or try our new caramel toffee cookie blizzard treat. Taste them before they're gone. Get it delivered in the app.
The big stuff. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? You're never gonna get my love, Mr. Big Stuff. Tell me, just who do you think you are?
Lease the 2025 Tiguan S for $299 a month. Limited inventory available.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems, like snoring that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled training, know-how, and tools to match you with a sleep system designed to help, like the Tempur Ergo Smart Base. It automatically detects, responds, and helps reduce snoring. And right now, save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic, plus a $300 instant gift. So for the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy.
I'm a tennis player, but I'm more than just an athlete.
You don't know how your body's going to recover through a pregnancy.
You have to fight really hard. Nothing is ever over and you're never out of the game.
Wade Abrams is being taken off the field, and hopefully he's upright, so hopefully he's going to be okay for next week. As we come back to play, Dylan Lee remains the setback. Just under 9 minutes remaining in this one, with some rather ominous clouds to our south. Hopeful of getting this one in before a torrential downpour hits. Lee, right now he just wants to stack up some stats. He's already done that. Keep the clock moving and keep handing it off.
You know what's really cool to watch, though? The attitude of South Dakota, it hasn't changed, right? Obviously, this game is completely out of reach, but the same intensity we saw in the beginning of the game, we continue to see it as they continue to try to battle, because they're getting ready to go in a season where they found out a lot about their team today. I think
they did, yeah. And I thought for a quarter and a half, they were right there with them.
Oh, yeah.
I really did. But until that turnover in the red zone on the ball that was both blocked and overthrown, it could have been a tie ball game. Instead, it became 21-7 instead of 14-14. Lee gets it up to about the 47-yard line. I loved what Steve Johansson told us, too. He said, you know, being a good teacher and learning how to be a quality coach, I got from my high school coach, Dave Nelson in Minnesota. And then he talked about Mike Woodley at Iowa State when he was under Dan McCarney. Learned a lot from him, too. Dan stayed close to him. Look at these moves from Dylan Lee. Just put your foot in the ground
so aggressively.
Stick that foot in the ground and move, huh? You think about the FCS program that they are in the Missouri Valley Conference. You know, they went 11-3 and were beaten by Balak and that North Dakota State team that we saw beat New Mexico week 1 a year ago. And that team is almost always in the championship game. They're not far away from playing for titles in that league, but South Dakota as a university could very easily play as a group of 5 team based on the talent level that they continually get, yet they're very comfortable in the FCS, just like with all of those teams in the Big Sky. Teams like North Dakota State, Montana State. Easton Miller in the game, number 25 at running back. He gets inside the 30, move the chains again.
And this is a powerful run. Look at him, all downhill, not shying away from contact. Boom. Finishing with his pads going forward.
But they have at South Dakota a lot of support from the state, a lot of support administratively for the players that they have. Full cost of attendance is not an issue. Coming up with some dough to make sure the players that they really like and they can hang on to, that's pretty good. They're very comfortable with the kind of support that they get in Vermillion. Well, we got baseball coming up next here on Fox. The Mariners will take on the Guardians. Tigers continue their fight for the AL Central against the Royals or the O's and the Giants. Check your local listings for the game in your area coming up next on Fox. Love keeping up with my friends that are doing some broadcasting at the baseball level all the time, and so many of our Fox colleagues do, with Joe Davis with the Dodgers, Benetti with the Tigers. Kenny Albert's always busy. Look at this from Dylan Lee. All the way inside the 10, twirled down around the 8-yard line.
Tim, I'm just telling you, Dylan Lee, he's a redshirt freshman. He's saying, hey, listen, I can handle it as well. Make this a 3-back rotation. Take out the balance and the ability to stay on his feet and continue to finish. Now, the one coaching point, the mouth guard. Why?
Yeah.
It's dangling.
Right.
Seems dangerous. About as dangerous as his leg in the ground when he sticks it in there and gets vertical.
It's right. Stretch play to Lee, cuts it back, touchdown.
Who needs a mouth guard?
You saw it flapping in the breeze, did you?
Oh, yeah. Tim, it reminds me of an old call. Denard Robinson, shoelaces flapping in the wind. Dylan Lee, mouth guard, flapping in the wind.
Sounds like an old Bob Ufer call at Michigan, doesn't it?
Really nice job of just progressing gaps and then again sticking that foot in the ground, getting downhill and getting into the end zone.
Speaking of, football is not over on Fox either, but we got Utah UCLA late night tonight too.
We do.
Get to see how Nico's doing with his new address. 50. We can't drive 55-7 at Iowa State.
You give me a paper towel right there.
55-7, our score. Dylan Lee putting on a show. Just 4:22 remaining. South Dakota will have another opportunity to score after what looks so promising has turned into a full-scale rout with Iowa State really getting it done the way they want. And listen, today the day belonged really to Iowa State in terms of big victories. This was just that. And tough going for the SEC today. Bama losing in Tallahassee by 2 touchdowns. And then on top of that, you've got what's going on with Texas losing in that matchup with Ohio State today.
Yeah, it's a lot going on in college football. We've got a game behind us, but Florida State, they talked a lot in the offseason, especially their quarterback.
Castellanos.
He talked a lot, and clearly he's backing it up.
And by the way, all their drives were long ones today. It's no fluke what's gone on in Tallahassee today.
Wow.
They've throttled Alabama.
Coming back with a vengeance.
Well, this is the time of year. If you're looking for upsets in college football, they generally happen opening week, second game maybe. And that's the crazy thing about college football. It's the thing we like so much about this sport is because there are no primers. There's no preseason in college football.
Yep, you got to just hit the ground running.
And the advantage of Iowa State to have played that game last week, oh my goodness.
Indubitably.
Yep. Reed Watkins now, the freshman, is in the game. And Reed is spun down at the 29-yard line. Partner, I think we're going to sneak this one in right before the, as Keith Jackson used to say, right before the frog strangler comes inside this stadium.
Again, a thing I've never heard in my life, but I'm going to go with you on it.
A frog strangler. We got a quagmire with all kinds of rain coming down. And in the South, we call them frog stranglers. By the way, you had some frog's legs last night.
I did have frog legs like that. They're really good.
Bubba's was good in Des Moines. I enjoyed that.
It was.
By the way, Maud's in Ames is a great stop if you ever have time to see it. There's a tip ball again. And this one is picked off again.
All right, Tim. Say it with me. Tipped and overthrown. Okay, one more time. Tips and overthrown.
And Nick Reineke, the 6'4", 235-pound sophomore, got it done. Gets a pilfer to give the football back to the Cyclones.
The quarterback's worst nightmare when the ball is tipped and it's a little inaccurate behind. Tips and overthrows in the middle of the defense. They usually end up in interceptions, especially for this Iowa State defense. Now, that ball is rubbing across the ground, but it does look like he controlled it. They may take a look at it just to make sure that he controlled it all the way, because the ball can touch the ground as long as you have control.
That kid is having the time of his life. Reineke is having the time of his life. Let's not stop the game now, shall we? Let's just play on. May we just play on? Yes, in deference to the circumstances, the score, and the weather, we just play on. Thank you. And some bullish running here from Easton Miller again, out of Ankeny, Iowa.
Oh, my goodness, Tim.
Prepped at Centennial.
Tim, I don't know if you saw it.
That was...
Tim, we're going to get a replay of
that
this.
Was a hit.
Brace yourself.
Yeah.
Brace yourself. This is called delivering a blow.
A blow.
When you're the running back, take a look at this. 25 in red. Move!
Ooh. Yep.
Wow. He has a family, okay?
Yeah, feeling the brunt of that was Stewart. And going the other way with it. Look at that run. Well done.
It's Major Cantrell.
Yeah, Major Cantrell gets it out there. And we got the 2-minute warning. And they said, did you see my moves? Did you see my moves? Major Cantrell out of Washington, Oklahoma. Carrying the mail.
I'm not really one for the spotlight, but there is some gravy to be had. You know, I always seem to get primo parking. But you don't have to be a VIP to get more than just savings with Geico. Every customer gets tip-top service with 24/7 fast, friendly claim support.
I never do this, but could I get a picture?
Yeah, it's not like you run into animal celebrities every day.
Stop. It's Doug the Pug! Doug!
I stand corrected.
I literally never do this.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
I stand alone with fire inside. With passion burning in my veins.
Lowe's knows when you start grilling, the guest list starts growing. That's why we help you get everything you need and more.
Mind if I crash the party?
Dak Prescott.
To help make the most out of every gathering this fall.
Appreciate you guys.
Everyone's heading to McDonaldland this summer. So come order the McDonaldland meal and try the new Mount McDonaldland shake with one of 6 souvenirs. Ooh.
Michelin innovates on the road and far beyond. With airless tires designed for exploring new frontiers. Michelin, motion for life.
Today, the best mobile network in the U.S. is T-Mobile. You see millions of real customers tested the networks, and T-Mobile sort of opened a can of whoop-up. So text and Instant Talk and say, you won't believe where I am. Seriously, where am I?
George and Junior need to replace their brakes, and an AutoZoner helps them find a deal on the right parts.
Don't miss the end of summer sale with great deals and rewards. Now until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. The state showdown begins. The Floor premieres September 24th on Fox.
Fox College Football is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Major Cantrell, 5'11", 195-pound juniors in. How about camaraderie with that 63-yarder to close the half? A history-making moment for him and for us here at Fox to have that. And as we begin play after the timeout, we've got a...
false start, offense, number 77, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Thank you, Henry Johns, our referee. That's what we've got, a false start to back him up. Cantrell...
Oh, no, Tim. Don't you try to thank him. You're thanking him for not reviewing that last interception. That's what you're thanking him for.
Have you ever heard a play-by-play basically just say, look, we don't need that now?
It's my first time, I'm just telling you. And he probably heard you. That's why he didn't review it.
Listen, I think we're the when, why, and what. You're the why. But sometimes you just have to give a little editorial comment.
A little bit.
We didn't need a replay there.
No, please don't.
We just didn't need it.
But I tell you, one person that wanted it, Bauman.
Yeah.
He said, I don't want another interception on my deal. Review it, please.
Now, I want to go back again to what Iowa State's getting out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, they got what they needed.
Yeah.
Today, absolutely perfect for them.
Mm-hmm.
And now the Cyhawk game coming up next, they go in with a lot of mojo.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got Big Noon coming in here.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what next week will be like in this town?
This is going to be a confident bunch. I mean, they're already confident, right? Like you said, a week ago, they got that tough, gritty win. It looked like an Iowa State football win. But then they come in today, and, you know, all the talk was about the receiving core in the offseason, and they weren't able to show it last week. And they came in and showed just how good they're capable of being, and they can build on that next week.
And by the way, Cantrell showing some dexterity with his moves there, and a late flag comes in. I think he might have gotten a piece of his face mask. Maybe getting a little chippy late for the team from South Dakota. Has had a lot of bad breaks really since midway through the second quarter. So Henry Johns having to do a little more work than he would like at this stage.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. Half distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Yeah. Not much doubt about that one.
And it's not super intentional. He's just reaching out, trying to make a play. Like I talked about, the intensity has not changed one bit. They continue to play hard, but he does get his hand up in the face mask.
There was a time when Brock Purdy was here at quarterback where they played an undefeated West Virginia team in prime time. We were here for that game. And that win meant a lot to them. They just stormed the field after the game. The program now is in a much better position than even then. And Rocco Beck as its leader and Matt Campbell as its consistent culture builder has them really on the precipice of something special. You know, they've been in a couple of Big 12 title games, have yet to win one.
Yeah.
Purdy got them there. Rocco got them there. And of course, Cam Scatterby had his way last year in the Big 12 title game. But, you know, the next phase here is a championship phase for them.
Yeah, you talk about the spot they're in. And when we talked to Matt Campbell this week, we talked to him about his relationship with his quarterback. And he said, if it's coach-player with your quarterback, it's probably not going to work out. It's not going to be great. But it needs to be more of a father-son type of relationship and a partnership of you guys working together like the owner and CEO, making sure this thing moves. And they have done an outstanding job, and they did a really nice job tonight as well.
I guarantee you, regardless of where they're ranked on Monday, look at that picture. It's a wonderful picture. Former player Bowman and his coach. Fantastic work by Dustin Denty capturing that. And our producer, Jake Jolivet. All of our crew, by the way, Josh Franz, Matt Gale, we thank all of them for the job they do. For Devin Gardner, Jack Tuttle, Scott Alexander, our content coordinator, and, of course, Brett Bender, our extra eyes in the booth, and Michael Barship. Tim Brando saying goodbye. And we're going to take you to our Los Angeles studios with Mike Hill, the coach Chris Peterson, and Bruce Feldman after this.
This your bag, sir?
What gave it away?
Oh, you the Geico Gecko! I'm a huge fan. I filed a claim for my car with the Geico app. Only took 2 minutes.
Well, I mean, Geico's all about getting more than just savings.
The next time, how about less fluid ounces?
Fair enough. Oh.
You use this much serum?
Well, my skincare routine requires...
And a pump top? It's gonna make a mess. Well, I'm taking this.
You took all of them.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Have a nice flight. Rolling sound, quiet.